Hey, what's going on, y'all? What's going on? What's going on? Back at it with another one. Sunday Madness. Sunday Madness 18. Sunday Madness 18. Let's get it started. Something different today. Something different today. Sunday Madness. Something Madness. Oh, Sunday Madness. Sunday Madness. Greetings to everyone. Greetings. Uh, we're gonna talk about different topics and things like that. Greetings. But back with another one. Back with another one. So we're gonna start off on this Sunday. This is gonna be an interesting Sunday. Greetings, degenerate. Greetings, degenerate. Greetings. And that's what's going on. So let's see, nine. Yeah, activism. Yeah. I saw something interesting last night. Saw some interesting last night. Well, I've been doing good. I've been outside lately, just chilling. Nice weather today. It's up in I think the later 50s and higher 60s. It's not as windy as much down here in GA, but you know what it is. That's a whole nother story. But speaking of, everybody did good last night, but last night I think early in the morning, whatever. I think I was watching. I watched two of super slides, two streams. They were short, and the other one he said hip hop's for children, which is understandable. I agree with him, and it is in a way because it's more geared towards to the children. It's a very interesting channel. I like his channel. He's kind of versed in everything. It's a nice size channel, and I've been looking at different content lately. Even though the gear stuff besides that, but his and everything else has been excellent. But he interviewed Ciova. Found it very interesting what he said about three things, not just grow your channel, but there's three things to be tiers. I like how he said entertainment's one of them. You have to have a little balance of that. You got to be entertaining. Talking about live streams, and then he said you have to be educational. And then he said the other part. I forget the other part. I forget the third thing. You have to do all that, all those three things. So basically, it's the same thing I said last year. I said the same shit that he was saying last year. Ain't that hell? That's a repeat what I said last year. I said that in a vlog stream. You have to do three things on YouTube. You got to pre-record. You got to, like he said, the shorts. I remember. Yeah, it's a form of pre-record, but it's different. But then you had to do pre-records, shorts, or something like that. I got a couple of shorts, and then he said you got a live stream at least once or twice to get your channel like sustainable and stuff like that. When he was saying that, I was like, okay, that's very interesting. I didn't know it was like that, but see, I knew I was right about that last year. I talked about that last year, and then I'm glad how he said it. He made it in tears, but when he said you could be educational. He told us super slide, and I caught that part. He said you could be educational, but you gotta have a little balance of somewhat entertaining. That's what you said. Yeah, I do every now and then on some of my streams and things like that. But then he said you got to be a little entertaining. He said that part, and then he broke down you got to be exquisite with whatever, but see over he broke it down. I was like, okay, that's cool. And then I said to myself, the educational part, he said you ain't gonna be as big as those video gamers. So what he should have said is the PewDiePies of the world and all those guys like Side Field and all them. But even though he's a known doxer, even though he brought that up in the stream, which is true. He's fucked up and everybody else fucked up. There's a lot of good video game YouTube content creators. They up echelon up there too. And I think Marquise Brownlee's up there as well. He's different, but he's the more in the tech and that. So the tech guys are top tier than PewDiePie as well. Now Marquise Brownlee's up in the top 5 and 10. So he's in that range. But the reaction channels don't mean shit. Let me tell you something about reaction channel. Reaction channel is based off bias. He said you ain't gonna be big as reaction channels, but you know how it is. What's going on, Tampa? And it's just what it is. And I think he had that interview with Ciova, and that's a good interview. And I said to myself, he's absolutely right about how you look at things and things like that, like how you get your channel to be sustainable and growing and things like that. He said, but I'm glad he mentioned the educational part. See, the educational part is the vital piece of YouTube. Now, some of my stuff, the dark history stuff that I'll be talking about on my channel is a little educational. And it gets to a point that it's going to be like that for a while. And I said to myself, I'm like, okay, this is it. And I said to myself, how can I be educational? And I draw the line. And even with the political stuff, it's a little educational, but then I drop knowledge at the same time and study politics properly. If you're in the college course, you talk about real things, how you adapt in not just voting, but get involved in the system and things like that. See, I vote, unlike most of these niggas in these spheres and things like that. I adapt to society. So what he's saying is stuff, the shit I've been saying since last year, hell, maybe like this year and 2 years ago. I was talking like that 2 years ago as well. Because 2 years ago, I was saying that in the Brain Trust, I said it everywhere else. So you got to be politically active to move forward, and especially if you have channels like that. You can. I talk a little bit about it. They said they don't support the content. It depends. What we're saying is kind of like podcasting. We talk about various things. Politics is a good topic to talk about, but you can't get emotional. You could talk about it. You just got to keep it in the realms of what the information is circulating. But if you go deep off into the two end, that's in Rumble. A lot of people that don't want to talk about politics, they ain't got nothing to say. They can't hold a conversation under 5 to 6 hours like I can. They can't. Because I was looking at my old content months back. That proves it. It's just what it is. But CO was correct. The educational is vital on YouTube. They get views. They don't get enough views like the entertainment. Well, the reason entertainment gets enough views is because certain individuals love to see someone else see those way more than anything. Everybody loves it. Like I said, I'm going to reference this. If I was on that panel, if Sly invited me, if I asked for a link, whatever, I'll tell them like, nigga shit just sells. So basically, he's saying is nigga shit sells. And the reason being, a lot of motherfuckers love nigga shit way more than they do educational shit. And I'm not mad because of the fact that they love the shit. It's programmed. They're programmed to love that shit. See, I've been on YouTube for like, I'll say 15 years. And I've seen drastic changes each year. They love this shit. So you can't get mad when people try to have a podcast. And the reason why they most fail, they love bullshit. They want to be in the rap videos and shit like that. They want to be what he said, Sly said hip hop or rap is for children, which is kind of true because you look at the modern day youngsters, they dress like children with those colorful clothes and stuff. Do I get mad when they dress like children? I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, I say hell no. Because see, back in the day, they thought we was like that. We had the baggy jeans and things like that. They thought we was like that once upon a time, but that shit died. No, it's you can wear any type of jean now, tight, baggy, whatever. Mismatching clothes. You know, a lot of people don't care about that. Quite as I mean, they care, but then they don't care because you have an audience that don't care. They determine how you feel your content. So what Silva was saying, basically, he's saying in that interview with Super Slide Slide, I recommend y'all checking Super Slide Slide's channel out with Silva, and he had some very good details. What he was saying, he said basically, nigga shit sells. It sells for a reason. There's a reason why it sells. It sells because people love the bullshit like we see now. You got people doing what? Purges. That's a success. Okay. And, you know, for the fuckery. But I'll tell you, he said long term, and I like how he said about money wise. He said you're supposed to make real money off YouTube. And I like what he said. He said you got to make real money off to YouTube, not by super chats and all this other shit. That's not where the real money is. Because he said that's a short-term process. So when he said that shit, he's right. So basically, if you're going to do it as a business, you got to do it off YouTube. So basically, he said this shit is non-conducive. You can do live streams all you want to help your channel to sustain and be what it is, or if you're monetized or not. People still get views. So basically, YouTube doesn't give a shit. They just want to. They just want to see. They want to control who gets the numbers or not. See, I told y'all about YouTube. I said this last year. YouTube pick and chooses who they want to get. If you chose to go entertainment route, they're gonna bump you up in the numbers. If you choose to be educational, you'll be there. You just gonna be a relic. That's all you are, and people gonna use your channel. It's educational. So there's nothing to sell with an educational channel. When you go that route and you go to nonprofit route, you're good. Yeah, you have a little fuckery slip ups every now and then, a little entertaining. You gotta be well balanced, but the live streams helps channels that are not monetized or monetized. He's basically saying it's in a whim. See, the days of pre-recording, what he was trying to say is it can still work. Yes, it helps grow your channel, but people don't understand. Most people rather not deal with pre-records. And I like how he said the word engagement. It ain't about the subscribers, it's the engagement. If you engage with people, that's a plus. That grows your channel. See, engagement is the key. And I like how he said engagement. Engagement is what I do. See, I focus on the engagement. The subscribers don't matter to me because at this point, I realize they come and go. But when you deal with a lot of engagement, it helps your channel out more. And another way you can get subscribers, if you leave for like, say, like you did what I did back in 2014, and I had a hiatus from 15, from 2020. I told y'all this story before. What he's basically saying is your views can go up anyway. But if you do live streams, when I first started live streaming on April of, I would say last year, the engagement went up. And each time I did that, it grew. So it shows you the more you engage with people in live streams, if you schedule them like I do, I schedule them like Sunday, Wednesday, every other Tuesday now. Usually be Mondays, but I gave it to someone else. And I said to myself, this is perfect. This is perfect. And it lets me know engagement matters. So people ain't caring about no views. They just care about engagement. If you do live streams, engagement is the number one thing you got to have. You got to have an engagement. You got to engage with people. So you engage with the audience and you don't do a lot of panels like I've done recently. That's engagement. So your numbers go up either way with the engagement. And I said to myself, like what CEO was trying to say is yes, but if you do a lot of nigga shit and you engage the crowd and then on panels, you're doing something right. So basically you're saying it really matters at that point. I get what Silva was trying to say because he put it in layers to me to think. And I slept on it that morning, early this morning. And you know, it lasted for 2 hours. It was 2 hours of interview, whatever. And I might have to see the replay again, but I like how he said that. He said engagement is the number one thing people go for in live streams. They rather see the live streams than pre-records. See, pre-records take time. It takes a lot of editing, post. It takes a lot of offered titles, wherever you're saying. It matters in so many points. So basically, you're seeing what I'm seeing. So I'm not really surprised about that in so many words. Get what I'm saying? But it is what it is. It is what people see. I'm just not looking at it from that angle. So yeah, yeah. And I think Silva had the right thing to say about the purpose of it. And I think like, okay, I know exactly what he was saying in so many words. I said the same shit last year, and I was like, you know what? He's absolutely right. And most people didn't catch what he was saying, but that's how you look at live streams. But when you do pre-records, man, yeah, it's a hassle. I struggle a little bit on those, but I'm gonna get better each time, each month. So I gotta drop some before the summer hits, and have some topics and things like that. Because I know I'm stranded with certain things, but it is what it is. So when I look at it, you know, but we'll get into the brackets in a minute. It's been a while. I done missed it. They are in the Elite Eight, almost at the Final Four. I done missed half of the college bracket. I think I did that last year because I missed some vital games and shit. And it's what it was. It's just like I don't understand why people don't understand that that's the number one thing that keeps you around. So when you have that much engagement, you understand that people are going to be who they are. So once you have enough of it, I think it helps you grow or whatever. But he was saying something about entertainment. It's a short term thing. Then you have another crowd that does like educational videos. I did not know that. So that proves what my shit was saying was valid. That 6 year hiatus. So that lets me know my shit is valuable on YouTube. So that's good to know him saying. I'm glad he said that because most of them niggas that be doing long live streams won't get that and trying to say that helps your engagement. No, it doesn't. It actually hurts your channel long term. It's cool, but it hurts your channel long term. So nigga shit matters when you get it in 5 hours, 4 hours, or 3 hours. You can do that for 3 hours. But if you do it for like 6 to 8, 9 to 12 hours, that shit ain't gonna work. Yeah, you may get views, but it ain't gonna work. I got a thousand thousands of views on Sunday Madness #2. That was it. I couldn't do that with a regular three. I'll say an hour and 1 hour to 4 to 5 hours. I couldn't do that. That takes a lot of. And a lot of people say it takes talent. Some of it's talent, and some of it ain't talent. It's just what it is. It's the person that knows how to draw a crowd. If you're good at motivational speaking, you are what you are. And I think most of the time you see this a lot. So when you have that speaking skill, it's a skill to this too. He tries to say, I'll say it's a skill. It's not really a talent. You have to have the skills to edit and do things and learn to adapt with tech. See, I've been doing this website for 15 years. So when he was saying that stuff, I was like, I know exactly what he's talking about. I know what he's getting into, what he feeds off of. It's the energy boost. So again, he's correct with the with everything. And it's the same thing that lines up what I said last year. That's the whole purpose. And that's just what it is. And he said live stream will dominate. Of course, it's going to dominate the future. It's the new pre-records. But what I was saying in so many words, that's the shit I was saying last year. And niggas didn't catch what I was saying last year. They're too busy worrying about the gynocracy and all this other bullshit. But that interview was valuable. In case y'all knew, that's for you young guys. It's very valuable what he was saying. A lot of people have got to understand that. That's one of the things that I've noticed is you got to do that type of content. So when you're doing that type of content, I'm not really mad at it at first. It's just what people see. So people see different things. You know what I'm saying? But that's just basically what I've saw. So you can't tell me that people understand what's going on. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And I look at it like this. Most of the time, people just love the nigga shit, man. And I think, Ty City said it and everybody else said it. That's how you look at it. But when you look at it, it's valuable to certain people, certain crowds and stuff. And he was breaking it down. It's like, yeah, oh, shalom, wacky, shalom, shalom. But it's just like I don't get the fact that people just like they love this stuff. And I think Cioba was absolutely correct about the nigga shit. Because when the nigga shit happens, anything goes left. And I think YouTube is trying to curve that over time. But yeah, it can end any day. The problem is with it, those individuals that got a lot of views and us and anybody else, they don't produce real content. And what he's saying was, I said the same thing last year. So what he said in that interview made absolutely a lot of sense. So you cannot say educational stuff doesn't get no value. And it does. It does. And then we said this last Sunday with DS1 and Shar was on the panel. She was trolling with the name Nicki Minaj. You could say that it's like a classroom. And then someone like Eric Black trying to say it ain't a classroom. Yes, it is. Educational matters to a lot of people. That doesn't do the fuckery. And that goes for other races. They watch our shit as well. So people don't understand who's watching your stuff. So you got to be careful what's in the algorithm. And what Cioba was trying to say is you got to be careful how your content is treated. Over time, it could be a garbage can. It is what it is. Some people just look at it different. And that's just how you look at it in so many words in society. So absolutely, I agree exactly what Cioba was saying. Cioba was saying in so many words that a lot of times people look at it that the nigga shit is so powerful. That's what type of content you're gonna do. But I'll get into the sports bracket in a minute because it's been a minute since I've talk about basketball. It's one of my favorite subjects to talk about, even though I used to play in the day. That was a long time. That's a long time ago. I was in my distant early youth and things like that. So it is what it is. And I'm not even tripping off that. So and everybody's just looking at it like, okay, this is gonna be wild. But you gotta understand something. That's just like, oh my God. Like he was saying it's like a business. And he said black people always use that loosely and things like that. That was a good interview. That was a good interview. And I enjoy more. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even tripping. I'm not even tripping off that. So it just lets me know where people stand at. And when you have some things like that, you got to understand when you talk about things like real stuff and things like that nature, you ponder on things. But basically I'm saying is like most people just don't understand that. Cioba, he's a tech guy. I know he's an absolute excellent tech guy. He comes in and just with that angle. So with it, he just basically what I'm saying is saying thing the whole time. So I was saying like this, that interview he did with Super Slide, I mean, I was amazed how he said three things. He said, yeah, pre-records matter. He said shorts, and he said something about live streams they matter. But here's the thing. He said something about entertainment. You got to be educational. You have to be entertaining and you have to be educational. And then I forget the other thing he said is the third thing. He's absolutely right because that explains and entails what you're going to do on this content on YouTube. But he said something about the money part. He said you got to get it off YouTube instead of on YouTube. No super chats, no cash apps, and no sticker. That's the what do you call it? That's the AdSense. That ain't real money. He said the real money's outside with the branding and all that. And I'm glad he said that. And he broke that down, boy. Them niggas was tight. Them niggas is tight, man. Like they was tight in that chat room when he said that. And I said to myself, and they dipped out of there, and it was like 37 in the box, and they went right back to 50 to 51. They was listening to information he had. Cioba knows what he's doing. But shouts out to those guys for that interview, man. I had a little insight on that before I lay down, and I was like, man, this shit's wild, bro. I think it was last night. Yeah, it was last night. It was last night. My fault. It was last night, and I fell asleep on it. I know it's 2 hours, and I was going to, watch the news, whatever, and and I'm glad that was a good interview. I might see the replay of that again, because man, oh man, he dropped some tremendous knowledge on that. So so. Not surprised, Wacky. I'll get to that. I'll get to that. And I'll look at that bracket in a minute because there's a bracket I'm going to look at because we're going to get into it when it gets to the 30-minute mark. I'm just going to explain my thoughts about the nigga shit and etiquette. Nigga shit and etiquette. Okay. Nigga shit is whatever, no matter what platform you choose or whatever. It's inevitable. And I think it sells. I mean, people like that shit. And, and when people get together, and I think Art of New Style said something very valuable. Like he said, people need to ask for help. Sometimes I'm one of those people, I don't ask for help. I just do it and just do my time. So I learned my lesson for the past 3 months. And then I learned my lesson this year. I'm learning a lot about this thing and live streaming and things like that. So I'm not even tripping anymore. So I'm looking at the big picture. So what they're saying is, but the etiquette thing about panels and stuff, that's when you try to get educational. And then he said about panelists, that's non-conducive. He said that's a form of grifting. And he's absolutely correct. It's a lot of grifting on a lot of panels. I wouldn't say just the black spaces, but I say all spaces. But that's the whole point of YouTube. Quiet as it's kept, YouTube loves grifters. That means Google and YouTube loves grifters. And they love them because it sells. I'm not saying I'm a grifter, but I'm just saying there's a lot of grifting going on. What people say in that chat room when CEO was talking. And I want to say in the chat, everybody loves grifters to a certain point until a lot of say you can't grift anymore. Yeah, they can't grift no more, but eventually they'll find another way to grift. The problem is people's laziness and ego not checking that early. Your shit won't be successful. It happens all the time, man. It happens all the time. The good ones always go down. If he's decent and then he had one weakness, he loves grift. It is what it is. And a lot of people just take that shit way too seriously. Yeah. I want to read what Shar said right here. She said, I had a plan on having Ciova help me build a studio when I get enough for all the equipment. He has decent prices. Oh, that's shouts out to him. Shouts out to him. Yeah, that's that. There you go. There you go. See right there. He's a guy that does a lot more. I would say from the technical side. Ciova's not a bad dude. He's not a bad dude. I have no issues with him. And he did the same thing with I think he with Kuda, he tried to help everybody. CCO was one of them dudes. He's fair, and and I know he messes with AF, but it is what it is. I think most of the times, dudes, it's gonna be who they are. It's gonna be who they are. So I know what time it is, and I look at it for so many words. It's just gonna be that simple. And he was looking at it from not just from offline, he's saying that's the real money. So the real money goes to how long you're going to sustain your brand like that. I didn't think he'd get into the trademarks and all that stuff. He said you got to make sure that's right. Everything else right to make it to the business. But he's trying to say a channel like this is not a business. You're supposed to have the branding before you get to on that level. You know what I'm saying? Because the internet on YouTube don't matter. They can kill all this shit and that's it. Your branding don't mean nothing. You got to have branding outside of this shit to make it into a job. YouTube is just a small vehicle to get there. I've always said that. I said that years ago when I was used to work at a dealership, and I tell people, no, it's a vehicle to get you successful. It don't make you or break you. It's just to get there to get you to be successful. Take all that money and build your brand, and then trademark your brand too, and it works. And that's how you look at it. But mostly, I'm just looking at it like what he said was very valuable, and I'm glad I caught minutes and bits and pieces of that. He lets me know that in the tech world, it's like that. So yeah, entertainment does sell, but I call it nigga shit sales. Nigga shit sells because people love the fact that they don't have to give up anything. You know what I'm saying? But you can't get mad at what's going on, and that's just what it is. I'm not saying anything nothing personal and all that stuff. You can't get mad at what's going on. So a lot of people they're just gonna be who they are, man. But that vibe of the nigga shit and the entertainment aspect, it is gonna get what it is. And that's just how it's gonna be. And yeah, man. Yeah. But oh, it's in the 30-minute mark. Okay, okay. Let me let me calm this down. Okay, let me get into the sports. He said, let's read this last part before I go into. Okay, social media should be used as a advertising tool. It should not be the end all be all to how people make a living. Exactly. I agree. Absolutely. And that's what Ciovo was trying to say last night, man. And niggas didn't get it. And it shouldn't be your income. That's what's wrong with these dudes. They just trying to make their income. You can't do that shit. You crazy. I ain't doing that shit. I just move on. Okay, let's look at the bracket. I got it on the Google. I know I can't make the screen big enough. Hold on. Let me see right here. Yeah. I'll explain the top part with Kansas and Texas Southern. I forget their mascot. Let's look at this game right here. So they are the Tigers. I used to play a lot of NCAA games and Final Four series and the Madness series. It's the Jayhawks. It's a historical team. It's one of those big schools that Will Chamberlain went to. Texas Southern Tigers. They still got their school. That's a small school, one of them baby schools. They had a good record. See, them small schools matter, but I heard someone said on the people they ain't gonna fuck with NCAA with that new rule with the players' license. That's Ed O'Bannon stuff. The licenses and contracts. I think we talked about that last year. How they gonna implement the drafts and stuff like that. Okay, Creighton Jays. Creighton usually good. That's a good school. San Diego State, Aztecs. They're good. But they played against Creighton Jays. The Jayhawks destroyed them. So we got San Diego State. We're going to look at this right here. I mean, excuse me, not San Diego State. South Dakota State. Jack. They call them the Jack. Okay. Some type of symbol right here. And the Providence Friars. The Friars beat them. That's a good school. Providence is a very good school. Even though they probably, who did they play against? They lost against Kansas, but they beat Richmond. Richmond Spiders. They beat the Richmond Spiders. So we got the Iowa Hawkeyes. I missed that part. Probably had to see a replay of that. And Auburn Tigers. They lost to JSU. So who they played against? I forget who they played against. Miami. And Auburn lost against Miami. Okay. Now see, I got confused for a minute. So it's Jacksonville State Gamecocks. Yeah, I remember Jacksonville State. That's a decent school. I used to watch college ball and kept up with this for years as a religion. I kind of fell off a little bit. I got distracted with the live stream and a little podcast in there and there. In basketball, Miami's but in football, they're excellent. I love their football team. I'm not big on their basketball like that. It's a good school. I like their football team the most. I don't like USC. Trojans and the Hurricanes. I knew Miami was going to beat them. Miami's a good school. They beat Auburn, and they played against Iowa State Cyclones. I believe it's the Cyclones. I believe. Am I correct? Yeah, Cyclones. Yep, Cyclones and the Tigers. This is right here. We're gonna talk about sports a little bit. Look at this bracket. Colgate. Who is Colgate? I know the Badgers beat them. Colgate Raiders. Colgate Raiders. That's a good. That looked like a good school, but it's 14C. Goddamn. Wright State. Arizona. Arizona beat them. Fun fact about Wright State Raiders. There's a basketball player I actually seen live back in 99, 2000 season. It was back in 99 before my sister was born. It was in Nashville, Tennessee. This was like in October, early October preseason. It was the Celtics against the Jazz. It was kind of like based like that movie Celtics Pride. That was like my own Celtics Pride preseason. Karl Malone and Josh Stockton was playing at this time live, and I was like 11 at the time. This was back in 99. There was a basketball player that came through the door. It was Antoine Walker, and this guy was from Ukraine. His name is Vitaly Potapenko, or Potapenko for whoever wants to pronounce it like that. This dude, right? He's a 6'10", Ukrainian, right? From Kiev, right? They spelled it different with a Y or something like that, and someone with the EV or whatever. But he's from that region, right? This dude, when I first saw him, I was like 5'11" at the time. At 11, right? This dude was like what 6'10", big, tall dude, big Ukrainian, big old dude. Never seen nothing like it. And I know he used to play for the Cavaliers, but he went to this school right here, Quasiska. He went to a school called Wright State. They known as the Raiders. That's a fun fact. He went to that school. I got his card somewhere, his basketball card of him. He's like a good role player, a center. He didn't last that long in the league, but that's a fun fact. There was a Ukrainian went to that school. So that's how I know about Wright State. There's a few other players that went there. It's one of those small schools, so it's nothing new in the NBA. So now you got TCU. That's the Texas Christian University Hornet Frogs. They beat the Seton Hall Pirates. I like Seton Hall. Seton Hall's nice. There's several college teams I like in basketball. You got TCU, you got Arizona, you got Illinois Fighting Illini, Chattanooga Mocs. Yes, in Tennessee. Yeah, I'm familiar with that school. Chattanooga's a decent school. It ain't the best, it's a decent school. I see that university a lot. I'm not even from there, so it's like in the middle, but it's down on the south. That's southern Tennessee, but that's in the middle part of Tennessee too. Okay, the Houston Cougars. They beat the Fighting Illini. Arizona. They beat Arizona, not surprised. So they played against Villanova. I think Villanova beat them, I believe. So Michigan beat them. I like Michigan in basketball. Villanova beat them. They played against Colorado State Rams, T-Vols, Tennessee University. That's in Knoxville. That's East Tennessee. It's UAB. Is that University Alabama? Is it Blazers? Alabama Birmingham or something like that. UAB. Yeah, that's what that means. But that's an Alabama school. They all right though. It's a recognizable school though. Longwood Lancers. I've heard of them. They're decent. They one of those schools always go to the tournament every so often. Some of these small schools do. And then when you start seeing Loyola, Illinois versus Ohio State, Ohio State's pretty good in basketball. I don't care for the Buckeyes. Then you got Loyola Ramblers. That's Loyola, Illinois University. The Ramblers. It's like a wolf symbol. So basically, you got the Wildcats. Then you got Delaware. What's it called? Delaware Fighting Buck H. So they lost against them. So it's 80-60. Wow. Yeah, it's been a while. So I've been distracted with other things. So okay. So Villanova beat them. Buckeyes. They beat the Michigan, which is actually, yeah, they beat Michigan. So Indiana Hoosiers, they lost against St. Mary's. UCLA beat them. UNC beat them. Tar Heels and all that. Okay, let's look at this St. Peter's team. This is a recognizable school. If you watch regular season NCAA, I used to watch that as a kid. Every now and then they'll be in these tournaments each other year. So let's just see right here. What's this school? USF. This is Bill Russell's school. Hold on. This is Bill Russell's school. The Dons. They ain't been in a tournament in decades. San Francisco Dons, USF Dons. That's what Bill Russell went, y'all, right here. They ain't been in playoffs in years. But that's NCAA for you. That's Yale Bulldogs. That no Ivy League school ain't gonna do shit. Fuck out of here. Purdue, Boilermakers, all that shit. Notre Dame, Duke. Yeah, Duke is good. They I believe they beat Arizona. So let's go back to St. Peter's. I'm I'm curious about the school. So they beat my team, Kentucky. That's one of my favorite teams in NCAA. It's Kentucky. Right behind Kentucky, I think it's Michigan. I like several teams in college, but Kentucky's my favorite. And I do like the UTEP Texas El Paso because of the history of Texas Western. They upsetted my team, Kentucky Wildcats. I like those teams. I like their history. Inspiration. Peacocks, St. Peter's Peacocks. Wow, interesting mascot. Wow, they have a good record. Oh, no wonder. No wonder why they give them some trouble. St. Peter's ain't no joke. Let's see this right here. The Elite Eight. So they play UNC tonight. Okay. Okay. Top 25 in the bracket. So, okay. Because I know Duke, Duke beat Razorbacks. Yeah. So we're gonna go back to the game. So yeah. Peacocks versus Tar Heels at 505. So today is they're playing right now. So Kansas, the Jayhawks and the Hurricanes are playing right now. So the winner of one of these games, one of them gets to play Duke. And the winner against this game is going to play against Villanova. I don't know which one, but but that's a whole nother story. But yeah, Duke is always. That's because Coach K's last year. So yeah, man, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. What's going on, man? Salute, Alonzo. Salute. Salute, information, man. Salute. What's going on, Nadia? Salute. It is what it is what it ain't. But yeah. One thing I can say about sports is you see a lot and then you can just say, hey, it's a lot. I've been trying to catch up with a whole thing. So I didn't realize it was that close. I was like, damn, let me catch a game or two. Cause I know they playing right now. Cause I know people watching that and stuff like that. But yeah, college basketball is on its way, man. One thing I can say about it, you have many times that people look at these schools and these upsets. It is what it is. Some people just go like, hey, we here and doing our thing, and just like, yeah. But the thing about it is, a lot of these teams just want to win that championship, man. It's that upset. So, yeah, again, it's just what it is. So, you know what it is, because I think people already know. But when you get into college basketball, man, that's one of the things I kind of miss because I used to watch that religiously. And this is probably a good tournament. So this is 2022. So if Duke wins the national championship, the draft's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be very interesting. Very interesting. Because I know the NBA playoffs is a mess right now. So yeah, college ball is actually pretty good. So we're gonna stay on to this right now. So we're gonna go into the NBA a little bit and share my thoughts. I know LeBron passed Karl Malone this year. I'm not surprised, and I think I said that on a different panel, different subject. So yeah, it's a lot going on in the NBA. After college is over, we're gonna talk about some more NBA, and then baseball. We'll talk about that too because I'm a Braves fan. So y'all bear with me. Let's see what the standings look like. Okay, the Sixers are still number one in the East. That's because of Harden. Miami's good. Celtics is good. I'm surprised Celtics is number 3. That's a playoff team. See, the defending champs is the Bucks, so the Bucks is number 4. The Bucks have a chance to win So they're playing against the Bulls. The Bulls is weak. I like the Bulls, but the Bucks are the favorites to win the East if they are. But here's the thing: James Harden wants that championship. It's gonna be Philly and the Bucks. I will say in the semis. I know it's gonna be that's what it's gonna be. And then you got the Raptors. If they played against the number 3 seed, that's the Celtics. So the Raptors and the Celtics will win that one. And the 2 seed is the Heat versus the Cavaliers. I will say the Heat will beat the Cavaliers, and it's going to be the Celtics and the Heat. So it's going to be Celtics and Heat, Sixers versus Bucks. That's going to be an interesting playoff. So the 8th seed is the Nets. The Nets are terrible. That's a garbage. Nets ain't gonna win it all. I'm sorry, bro. They just ain't gonna win it. And so Atlanta and everybody else is on the bottom. Magic is the weak team, the Orlando Magic. A lot of upgrades. The Eastern Conference is solid. Everybody's in the 40s, damn near, except for the Nets. They're 39. Everybody's in the 40 wins. Let's look at the West for a minute. Everybody's in the 40 wins in the West, except for the Clippers. Clippers is tagging along. Lakers are out of it. My dad's upset. His team is losing. So Timberwolves, one of my other teams I like, they're good. Nuggets is good. The Mavericks is good. I got a couple of teams that I like in the West. Mavericks and the Timberwolves, because I like certain players that came out of those. I got 2 teams in the West I like. The one is on top is Phoenix. Phoenix is a tough team to beat. That's number 1. That's number 1. Phoenix is good. I don't even like the Suns or the Grizzlies or the Warriors or the Jazz. I don't like none of them, to be honest with you. And they're good. The Warriors is, they lackluster. Nuggets is good too. They lackluster, but they got the experience. See, they done been in deep waters. See, Nuggets gonna be around. And it's like, I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, this is wild. I'm gonna keep this right here, and then I'll get another screenshot. I'm gonna drop this in a minute. If y'all want to talk about college basketball, that's on me. So, in so many words, man, when I look at this stuff, I'm just like, man, sports is on fire. Besides the shit that's going on in Ukraine and Russia, that it ain't looking too good for old boy over there. But it is what it is. So when you have these things like that, and then what CEO was saying, a lot of people like this other stuff. I talk about various things over here, so y'all don't have to worry about what I'm saying in so many words. You get what you get, and you just look at it a certain way. So it's not something that I will say in so many words. I'm just like, that's just it. And I know people are gonna be talking or whatever. So, yeah. But Sunday Madness is what it is. We're gonna be talking about sports today and talking about other things. So, um, this may go a little bit longer, but I got some hours in. I got time. I got time today. I got time today. I got time today because most people will do what they do. I don't trip off of things like that. So, and I'm just like, when I was looking at it, I was like, okay, so the Jays, not the Jays, but the Peacocks versus the Tar Heels. Tar Heels should beat them. I don't know what happened to the Williams coach. I don't know who they coach is. See, it's been a while since I've talked about it. So you have what you have with it, right? And basically, you got people just like, they talk about it in so many words, but you don't have enough. So, and that's just how it is. But I think one thing about sports is like you get to know your teams that and we just have what we have. But yeah, I told you about that Ukrainian player I used to see growing up. That's a big dude. That's a big dude. You know what I mean? Because him being like that, man, that's just what it was. And I'm not just saying that you don't see like that, but college ain't what it used to be. I mean, college wasn't used to be. And I think when people talk about money and stuff, they don't go to these universities and things like that. But people love to talk about it. But I know sports is it's one of those subjects that I talk about a lot every now and then on these type of streams that I talk about. And the thing about sports is you just do what you do. And I know people is busy and doing everything like that, but I'm gonna try to get this Sunday rocking. But people are tired of certain things, and that's what I'm talking about. But if you talk about various things on channels and this a little educational, and you talk about sports and what I'm doing right now, if I told that CEO, that's fine and dandy. You can tell jokes on people, whatever. But the thing is, the nigga shit overrides because they talk about the celebrity gossip, and it becomes popular. That's why it sells so much. It sells because people have an interest in it. And I think me and Complex talked about it on the Brain Trust a lot. And I think that's one of the reasons that I see that so many people do. That's why I'm not really tripping off this live streaming thing, because it's very inconsistent what people look to, and it's based off by association, and who you associate with determine how you views you're gonna get and things like that. But some people just cut them off, and they said they numbers grow. That's true, but 9 out of 10 it ain't that. It's just them. It's the certain individuals that they mess with you or not. So it's kind of like you got to be on good terms with them. You get those views up, and if you lose some, you know it depends on what you do. It's the interaction and engagement. Like I said earlier in the stream, engagement is the number one key. No matter what subject matter you talk about, engagement matters. If you engage with the crowd that's moving, if you engagement whatever it is trying to do what's best for you, you engage. Engagement is the number one thing when you talk about these subjects, especially when I talk about the political stuff, the ideologies and stuff. That's the thing that you stick with. It becomes rapid fire, and you become efficient in what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that people don't understand. That's how you get to know people. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get it under wraps. So some people look at it differently. They take it too far, call it and say it's a business, it's a business. We love entertainment. No, it's not. It's how you use the entertainment. You can't make this as your livelihood. You stupid. Some people do that and they look stupid after a while. That's why I don't trip off this shit. It shut down the whole internet on all computers. What y'all gonna do about it? I just saw an ad. They trying to say they had like a charger that make your phone fast, right? It ain't your phone or none of that. They said it's the stuff is on it. They want you to get a new phone and shit. I wonder if that will work on a charge. And she's fighting against the government, and then they trying to legislate, trying to get rid of them from using that shit. So it is what it is. Most people just look at it different nowadays. So you gotta understand something. When you talk about these things like that, it becomes conducive or whatever. So I know people just gonna be upset and be like, man, why ain't getting the educational stuff? But yeah, they do what they do. And some people try to be say whatnot. It is what it is. So I'm not worried about it in the elitist. But once you get used to it, you got to stick with it and just be on it. So I'm not really upset with it or anything. I'm just like, hey, you just do what you got to do. And let's see here, my levels up. But yeah, I think the sports is one thing that you look at in so many words, but and I was looking at that so many times, but it's just what it is. So, but college sports, it's one thing to see, you be on it, you be like, all right, this is right here. So let me drop the link in just about a minute or two. Yeah, it's open discussion. Y'all can come through, do what you do. But everybody's moving around. Yeah, Sunday's kind of wild. So expect me to do kind of different. So I know people are just, moving around. So it is what it is. So we'll talk about it. I'm gonna drop this down. And I'm going to put the share on. Let's share the screen about the NBA. We're gonna talk about these teams a little bit. We'll get back to NCAA. We're gonna get into it. And it's just like, yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess right now. Yeah, I'm gonna drop the link just in case if someone's gonna come up because I know the hour is gonna kick in. Because I drop it because I always drop links on Sundays. At first, I thought about closing. I said, "Nah, I'm not gonna do that. I always do that Sundays. That ain't changing. If there's an issue, we'll address it, and then I'll move on to the next person." So a lot of people just gonna understand that, I'm just talking about sports today, and a lot of people don't really care for it. That's cool. And it is what it is. But just make it clear, that's what I want to talk about today. And I ain't got much. I'm trying to keep up with what's going on, and there's the stats and everything. But yeah, the West is looking great. Both conferences is exciting. I ain't seen this shit since probably 2012 of I would say probably, 2012, like about 10 years ago. 10 years ago, basketball looked like this exciting. Yeah, LeBron didn't really took over after he won those 10 years ago. And then the next year it'll be like 9 years ago. It'll be 10 years ago next year. And it'll be 11 years. See, you see how shit goes by fast? That's the thing. You see this stuff all the time, and then people just don't understand that that's a part of it. So when you have these things, you know what time it is. So when you have them whatever. So yeah, a lot of people just don't want to deal with a lot of stuff that they're dealing with, like in the sports. I was looking at it like, everybody's getting hurt and injuries and things like that. The playoffs is going to be very, very, very interesting season. I don't know if I'm going to cover it or not. I'm gonna find some games just to cover and do things like that. I'm just gonna look into it, and I'm just like, yeah, let's look into it because you have what you need, and it's in vital positions. So I'm just like this, like all these teams I'm looking at here. It's just like this is wild. The West is really impressive. So the Warriors is in the playoffs and the Lakers are out of it. So you got one LA team. This is gonna be a fun playoffs. Guarantee you right now. The East, I already know it's gonna be the Bucks. I don't trust the Sixers. Sixers can mix up in any round. They can lose against the Bucks. The experience factor in championships is gonna matter. So the fourth seed is gonna place. Since the Hawks is on the bottom, they lost a lot of players. They got rid of Cam Reddish. A lot of players. The Hawks done went down. After the Eastern Conference, they ain't been back. They 37-37. Damn. And the only teams I like in the East is the Heat. Bulls is my all-time favorite team. Raptors. That's it. That's the only three teams: Heat, Raptors, and Bulls. Those are the three teams I like in the East. I got various teams I like, but the Bulls is my favorite team, to be honest with you. But the Nets and the Sixers, I don't like the Nets. The Sixers, I'm neutral when it comes to playoffs. They're all right, but shouts out to the Sixer fans and people, man. Y'all doing great. Y'all better win this one. Y'all on the 3-game winning streak. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna leave this up here because most of the time people will look at the stats right here. So I'll just post it. I'm just keep y'all posted. And it's just like, you talk about it and things like that. So we got sports on the way. But yeah, the NBA is going on strong, man. It's going on strong. And college is doing good because there's a lot to play tonight, and you gotta look at it in so many words. So you have these games paramount, and it's just what it is. So that's what you have. So I know for a fun fact that people don't like me talking about sports. I mean, sports is one of my topics that I've talked about, especially on these panels, and I've done and served so many times. And then we talked about multiple sort of topics. But yeah, it's an hour in, so this may be a long. This may be like a 3 hour or whatever. I might go 3 hours with this one. See where it takes us, because I'll get on my merry way. Because I know a lot of people's busy around this spring. I try to tell you, spring's gonna be crazy, and it's gonna be one of those streams that people don't want to be on, and just there they are. So because this week is kind of tight for me. But but the playoffs is like, that's what matters, because I already got 2 streams coming up, this week. We're doing another DTN. We'll see. We'll see. I might do Thursday, the Daily Thursday News Network. Got a couple of screenshots for y'all. Talk about these Negroes, man. They crazy. Talk about the same old stuff, but that's just my thoughts. And then I might do that in, let's see. I might do that. I say I'll do that. Well, I'll do that in 2 months. Because June, I'm gonna switch it. I'm gonna switch it. Yeah, I'll do that in 2 months straight. I'll probably do DTNs. Find something interesting. Because it's gonna be interesting when I'm going. I'll keep DTNs. This is a new Thursday series. It's a 5:30 joint, why I call it, right? And then I'll just look at it like, okay, this is it. And I'm gonna change the time on the DTNs, how I expose the screenshots. It'd be like in the 30 minutes. Instead of 40 minutes, I'm gonna do 30 minutes. When I get talking in, I'll say the 10 minutes, about 20 minutes, I'll share the results in 30 minutes. And then I'll go in and explain what happened. So that's basically what it is. So I know people are just gonna be super emotional about certain things while I'm on show, but it is what it is. So I'm not really tripping. So I'm not really questioning things like that. Yeah, I got some more Lapeef. I'm just gonna warn y'all. I got them, and this is another example. They had like a show, and they had like a little argument. I think it was Logic and Anton, I believe. But yes, it's I got some shots. We're gonna talk about the integration of the panels. Then the typical race game. Shouts out to Teapot. I got him too. Him and D Darrell and Truism. Amazing. And then we got oh boy. I'm gonna talk about that Thursday. Shouts out to Artie Newstar. He gave us some good screenshots. And that's gonna be for this Thursday. I'll talk about that Thursday. Y'all don't worry. Y'all in for a treat. And we're gonna talk about it. And I think that's the whole point. That's the whole point. So we're gonna talk about it in so many angles. It needs to be talked about. So you see why I deal with it all the time. So because I did that in the beginning. And yeah, but sports is one of those things that people just they don't get enough of. And I was watching some highlights and things like that. I said, man, this is going on, but college is something else. But that's the NBA, because I ain't got much to say on the NBA. Let me go with the college. Let me go with the college. That's enough of the NBA. Let's go with NCAA bracket. Yeah, let's go with the bracket. So we're gonna go back to the bracket. So Duke, okay, what's the winner of that game? Oh, it's halftime right now. So the final four. Okay. Yeah, the final four. Let me see this game. It's 35-29 right now. Miami looks like they're in the lead. They're trying to knock off the Jayhawks. It's maybe an upset. Can we watch it live? Nah, I ain't trying to get clipped. Okay. I ain't trying to get clipped. So yeah, we see where we at. In so many words, but I ain't trying to get clipped off this shit. And I'm just like, one thing I can say about me is like, when you get into sports, you understand that that's one thing. But yeah, we're gonna talk about some college ball over here as well. So we're gonna see. I want to check some, y'all. I'm gonna check some pin score. Yeah. Oh, my fault. It's AT&T. Let's see what this is. Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. St. Peter's Peacocks versus North Carolina CBS. Yeah, man. Oh, they just scored. Yeah, 30. But what's going on, Mace? But that's just like, they just scored. So, damn, losing a lot of lifetime. But I would just like say it like this. But one thing I can say, oh, they just scored. Oh, it's a free throw line. Okay. They must have scored. They trying to get the bucket. Yeah. I was just looking at the score. But yeah, Miami and Kansas City is playing right now. You know? That's just what it is. So, you get what you get. That's just how it is gonna be. So Destiny. All right. All right. All right. Woo. Damn. All right. You see, that's just how it's gonna be from now on. But that's like one thing about sports. If you put it in that complexion, but one thing I'm just like, you know, most people they just gonna look at it like with the two teams is gonna win. Oh, they just got 37-34. Okay, this must be a good game. And these teams is gonna be who's gonna determine to be Duke and the other individual teams. It boils down to this: Duke has a shot to win this. They do. They pick them. Yeah, they push against Coach K, and it's a possible it could be an upset. Most teams love upsets, and that's just part of one thing you learn. And a lot of people say, "Oh, they're gonna win this and that." That's true, but you see what happens in the Super Bowl, and then you just do what you have is in so many words. But it's just what you see in so many regards, and then you just have that, and that's just it. And when you have these things, the team is kind of solid or whatever it is. So I'm not surprised about how these colleges are, and then they have the upset, and these baby schools come in and they just do damage, and that's just how it goes. Some people just don't want to deal with that reality, But yeah, sports is still the same. Appreciate everybody trying to participate in everything, But this is around the time that college is on fire right now. So back at it. Back at it. The game is what it is. So it's 38-36 right now. It's a lot of foul shots, a lot of techs. It's close. And you just have it. And and that's one thing you might want to add. But when you add something, you just do whatever. So, and that's just basically what you're saying in so many words. So when you have these things like what's going on, you know what time it is when people do their things. So one thing I can say about me understanding of sports, you have these things over time. So I think a lot of people just don't understand that many times when you deal with these sports, it just comes in like second nature. But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, yeah, man, it's 40-38. Wow, man. Wow. 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 Yeah. Yeah. It's wild, man. It's wild. And you got these things with the teams. But one thing I can say, like, you have many problems with these teams. They just like, okay, one of these schools is good. And I think I was watching Somebody was talking about YouTube, like they was having a panel about sports and the money and the likeness and all that. Even if the schools leave, no one gives a damn about NCAA. It's fall apart. I said this last year. I said the NCAA is going to be one of those teams that no one cares about, because if they bring back the high school draft in the NBA draft, and I said this last year, and it's going to be an ongoing thing this year and years beyond. But see, the one and done college thing, like the college draft will be the end of April. I think they're going to do that. I think they're going to do that. They said it's okay to do that. You're going to see some players like that. And then the coming out of high school, they're going to do that as well with the football. See, it's baby steps. Now, if the NBA does get rid of the one and done rule, that means the NBA is allowing high school players to come to the NBA. Here's the thing: they go to they don't call it G League, they call it the they call it the G League now. Yeah, they call it the G League instead of the D League. So they call it the G League so they can improve their skills, and then they get to an NBA team. So basically, they're trying to groom that next star. You know, if something happens to LeBron, there you are. In so many words. Some people just don't want to say, "Oh, he's not going to retire" and things like that. But yeah, you know, he's one of those guys that you see a lot. You know what I'm saying? But you gotta understand something. Most times people don't believe what they hear. So if you have that in so many words, you just gotta look at it like in that angle. So it's just like, you know what's going on, but these teams don't last forever. You know, once you have a superstar like him, that's it. But even though he passed Karl Malone, so I'm just like this, man. I mean, hey, let him do his thing. He's just stat padding right now. I don't think he's gonna win another championship the way it's going. I said this before, and I stand on it. I said this last year. Someone said he's gonna win another championship. No, he's not. If he wins one this year, that's cool. But that's what people were saying. But I said this to several people on the panel last year. He ain't gonna win one. Not the way the team is going. He's not gonna win one. That's just my bottom line on that. Even if he did, it wouldn't mean anything because he just had one championship and helped Westbrook. I don't think he's gonna win it next year. It's just based how people look at it. He knows that it's one of those things that you have to win regardless of the situation. So you know he's gonna win at some point, but I highly doubt it. Yeah, his career is kind of over in a way. He's on a tail end and he's just like anybody else. Sometimes people just put their eggs in one basket, think he's gonna win it all. And that's just basically like I've been saying for like years and years. And even when I was in the workplace talking about sports a lot, I talked about a lot of sports. And I used to play sports in the day, but when I played, I had an interest in it and it just drove me wild. And that was about me when I didn't come back in these spaces or anything else or the sectors. I just look at it like this. Sometimes you keep it that way. You keep it that way. And you just look at it and like, hey, this is one of those things that you do what you do, and people ain't gonna talk about you long term like that. So I understand that people look at it for what it was. And some people trust that they do it for monetary gain on these channels. That's cool. But when CEO was saying that, I was like, but you gotta have outside business and branding to do all that shit if you want to try to make this a living. But you crazy if you try to make this as your living. I was saying 8 years ago when they had the monetization thing in '08, and it went worse and worse each year, but they pick and choose who's going to be the next star. So I still stand on that principle, and I understand that most people love to do that. Unless you're one of those channels, if you're going to do tech or entertainment and make some money out of it, it's going to put you in the stratosphere with the Marquise Brownlees, the guys that do tech, so many stuff. And then the voiceovers with the audio community, they're very, very small. And then you got the broadcasts like the sports, music, and all that, but especially sports. Sports is a big, big market. If you get monetized in the sports section, that will take your channel to a whole strategy. You have a different audience, different branding, and things like that. And that helps you get your engagement up, especially if you do live streams and report on the sports, what's going on with the teams, the trades, the money. Now you got to get in depth with how that works. And it helps you out. It helps you out. It helps you out long term, and people just don't want to deal with that long termly. So when you have these things like that, you just be like, all right, this is it, and you got to figure what you want out. So I don't have a problem with people not wanting an opportunity to play sports long term and things like that, because I used to play it in high school, and that's the first I ever went. I didn't go college. I thought about college ball or semi pro. I was thinking about that. I was decent. I was an average player, but I had defense. Make sure the ball was stayed away from the basket, move my feet, had technique, had a jump shot. I was a good mid ranger. I shot in practice and free throws. I shot 80%. I shot 80% in practice. I did, and I took decent shots. I had great shot selection. And the freshman team I was on, I was like 13-7. That was a classic. And we was made to go. And then I was cut from varsity every year, but it was politics. It was too many players that they would have wanted and choose. I could have went to a different school and just ended. Just ended. Just ended. I had issues with the school. And after that kind of fucking crushed my ass so many times. It made me depressed for a while. And after that, it was just like, man, fuck it. I was done. And that's basically the story of my sports. I went into another direction. If I would have came to Atlanta, I would have been in the street. I'd have been in the street, been in the ground, been gone, or in the penitentiary. But what saved me, I made a decision, try other things. Oh yeah, I was fucked up in my earlier years when I was younger. Before I came on YouTube, I would say '07. I was really out there, man. Especially when I moved down here, that really changed. And I was doing YouTube as well. So I started where I'm from originally, and then it started years and years in YouTube. So I've been on YouTube for a long, long, long ass time, especially when I moved to Atlanta. That was like in '07, the same year. I was already on YouTube, and that was in August. So from July, I was in Tennessee the whole time, but then August came around, that changed everything. And I saw how the NBA Finals was. I remember the Spurs beating the Cavaliers. That was a classic game, classic rounds. And that proves that how great it was years and years ago. But, colleges was even great. So when you have people like that, you just be like, all right, it is what it is. But, people just going to be what they're mindful of. And that's just how you're gonna look at it in so many words. So people gonna have they fits. So you know, not in so many words. And that's just the bottom line. And yeah, I just look at it like this. Most people just gonna look at sports as a small minuscule, but oh dang, Jayhawks 48-40. Woo, they coming back. Uh-oh, they proving they worth. They proving they worth. Did that right? Let me stop. Yeah, I'm gonna be on fire with it. But sports is one of those things, man. It is what it is. Let me check something out. I'm gonna go on mute. Yeah, yeah. But that's the thing about me, and I'm just like when people get mad about the team's not winning it. I know these a trip. I'll never get when the Eagles won the championship. Right, they won the Super Bowl, and there was a lot of Patriots fans in the workplace I used to work. Them niggas was so mad, and then I rubbed it in their face when I was an Eagles fan, and they was hurt. They was hurt. They was miserable, man. And there was a year that they beat the Falcons too. The first year when I was in the workplace, with that Super Bowl came around. I think it was like, was it 2017? I believe. Yeah, it was 2017. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. That year, see, I had the job in 2016 when I got it in February. It's going to be a year in 2017, right? That year around the Super Bowl year in 2017, I'll never forget this. There was a lot of Atlanta jerseys in the dealership. It was only a few Patriots fans. The next thing you know, the Patriots fans rubbed it in their face, and I told them, "Yeah, it's a Monday," and they hated the Patriots and Tom Brady after that. But then the next year, they went to the Super Bowl again, and then 2018 was around the next year, right? Still working, right? And they didn't know what I was going, who's going to win the Super Bowl, and I said I was the Eagles. And when the Eagles won, those Patriots fans that did that the year before, we made them look stupid. I made them look stupid. They was pissed, and I was rubbing in their face. I didn't give a fuck, and what it was, man. I didn't give a fuck. So it is what it is. So some people they just got to turn it down a notch, and that's just how I look at things like that. So when you have certain individuals get mad at you about these things, and you just look at it. So one thing I could say about those teams, you just got to make sure that your teams is right. You know what I'm saying? But basically, you just got to look at it like, yeah, that's just how it is. So I know people don't want to deal with a lot of things, but sports is one of those things I talk about a lot. So yeah, it's 42-48 right now. So and I just kept it up here that people want to talk, and that's just it. So I may step away a little bit, but man, oh man, oh wrong one, wrong plug. Got them all hooked up on the wire. It is what it is. So yeah, I'm gonna go on mute for a minute, y'all. And I'm just like, what are we gonna do here, man? Like, and I'm just like, hey, hmm. But it's just like the Jayhawks, they got it started. So I'm just gonna put it in here in context. So the second half, Miami had 7 points. They had 35 in the beginning. It's 42-49 right now. Let's see what they have in the third. So Jayhawks scored 20 points in the second half, and it's like 20-7 in the second half. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's a close game. Who's got the most points right now? Um, McGusty got 18. Wong got 10. Okay, but who the Jayhawks at? What they scoring? 10, 15, 20. Oh, dang, evens out. Yeah. He said he got those points again. He got 23 points. That guy's an all-time player. He acts like a nigga with a slam basketball head. Yeah. Let me stop. Let me stop talking shit. Wow. Wow. Oh wow. Yep. 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 Hmm. Oh man. It's just like, one thing I just like look at it like, man, basketball has really, really, really been good this year, despite the the C-19 virus, man. It's just, man, man, oh man. But you got people just, some people don't believe in it or not, but but it's gonna be mild, it's like a same repeat. But that's basically what it is. So I'm just looking at it like, okay, this is how it is. But and I think Silva was saying, oh dang, woo, had the gain up super loud. Woo wee. Wow. Okay. Little distortion there. Let me stop. But yeah, someone didn't like that. They dipped. Had a little audio. It's playing my little interface over here, but you know how it is. But yeah, but don't you worry. I got that solved. Was it next week? Yeah, I'm gonna get that solved next week. I'm gonna get that solved next week. I'm gonna keep this a special occasion so you don't test it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. It's a backup. The one I got, it just I caught the wrong one. It's gonna be the same brand, but it's gonna have two plugs. I'm gonna test it out and use it, and then you be like, "Oh shit, I get to hear." Yeah, you get to hear everything. You get the whole thing. Sorry about the clipping, y'all. Sorry about the clipping. I just went wild with it. I was like, "Woo!" It clips. This thing has a whole clip. It's a beginner's, but I'll get something better. Don't get you wrong. This is backup. This is kind of like I won't use it for my pre-records or whatever. Get into it. But yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. But like I said, man, I think most people like I think CEO was saying like you got three things: your educational, and I think you got the entertainment aspect, and I forget the other part he said. It's very valuable. But basically what he's trying to say in so many words, you gotta do three multiple things besides one thing. So which I do. I mean, I do blog streams. I talk about various things like what's going on in current events. Pre-records is any topic that's on my mind for a book, whatever, or certain people. Live streams it varies. It depends on the subject matter. And if you do these type of streams, you can talk about open discussions with various conversations. And then the one I do Wednesday, that's my content. I deal with the philosophy aspect of these ideologies that people follow. And then not only the ideologies, but basically, substance and movement. So, but that's the whole thing about me, I just look at it that way. But when I was talking about it for like hours and hours on end last year, man, I try to move in that direction. So yeah, but politics, you still got what's her name? Abrams and Brian Kemp. It's gonna be an interesting election. Everybody wants him to win, but during that C-19, it's kind of like the Trump thing. They want him gone. Everybody want their asses gone. So it's gonna be blue through and through. And I'm just like looking at it like, yeah, that's how the sports world has become. But damn, it's like an hour. Woo! Yeah. I think I may go 2 to 3 hours. I want to see how long it'll go. Because this ain't enough. Yeah, some people coming in because somebody's gonna fall off eventually. Because Sundays is one of those days that everybody's streaming on Sundays. I'm like, they usually don't stream on Sundays. I was the first one started that last year, made it popular. Now every nigga wants to stream on Sundays. All right, cool, cool. It's gonna be one of those things, but I am not. I am not worried about it. So People got their thing, you know. People gonna follow you, whatever. You got Oblivion and Bernard, but you know it is, and some people just don't, look at your streams like that. But I was one of those guys, and it happens. Very interesting. But you know what it is. Did super chats create ungrateful content creators see over the technician? He said, yeah. I'm look at this recording. But one thing I can say, he had a point. Brother has a fair point. So, a lot of people just wanna, do what they do. But yeah. Try to do something different all the time. But I think the one thing I could say about me and everybody else, it separates the best. You just got to go out there and get it. Because I know this is the last 3 months has been stagnated for me. So you got to forgive me. I'm a little lackluster at times in these months because next 2 months I will try to be as sharp as I can because these 3 months has been hell for me. So y'all gotta bear with me because one of them things that if I ain't sharp, I ain't sharp. I don't need nobody's fucking help. And I think, but shouts out to Art with the stream yesterday. He said people is afraid to ask for help. No, I don't give a fuck about no help. Help is like I'm not a beggar, bro. Especially on this sorry ass website, what we call YouTube. I'm one of those people like I don't want nobody's help. Like seriously, I really don't. I've done this before, especially content, but live streaming is not easy. It's not easy because the only reason people getting views, people are saying something. You know what I'm saying? And you just decide to open it up. So I can talk for like 50 minutes without opening it up. But then they pick the days that I'm not getting any. See, a lot of it's respectability. And I think I said this before last year, even if you talk about different subjects like I'm doing right now with the sports, it's respectability. It's who you associate with. And that's why you got so many people doing different groups and things like that. And that's why I'm not part of no damn group. And that's a good thing. I'm more of an individualist online. I'm gonna learn to embrace that and talk about that sometime in the future. Talking about being an individualist, and a lot of people say you don't have to be a rugged individual. Well, technically, I am in some ways. I'm not really a rugged individualist per se, but I'm just saying online I am. It's a shame that Ciola had to come out and bring some, but I'm just gonna take this down for a minute because I know the Jayhawks may win this or whatever. But yeah, because the sports it ain't going nowhere. Sports is gonna be the sports. So it's 57-46. It's damn near over. Yeah, drop 60 or 70. College is what it is. But one thing I can say about me is like when I do content, I don't usually have a lot of people. This type of content is conducive. Some people hop on, some people don't. That's cool. People get a chance to see what I'm about. See, last year it was like that spot that I had. Problem is, I look at it for what it was. That was last year. This year it's kind of like, it's a little lackluster. I'm lackluster for 3 months. Next month I gotta be on fire. So it has to match it. But repeat sidebar, I will not do Zodiac streams again. Never again. Never again. I didn't upgrade. I didn't get involved in other things. That fucked me over. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That it was cool until it lasts. Fuck me over. It is what it is. So you know when people talk about it long term, so you got to stick with what you got. And see, over say, yeah, you can get views being educational, and make some money, but it's not gonna be. You're not gonna compete with guys that don't about video games. See, right there, I disagree with them. Yes, you can compete with that. It depends on who you are. The secret, I'll tell you the secret of YouTube. YouTube is not about money. YouTube is about. It's like a popularity contest. It's some bullshit. It's designed by Google destroying it since '08. If you want to be respectable and liked, you gotta have a good reputation and people fuck with you from a distance. And then once that thing grows, he have millions and thousands of fans looking at him, and it's just like a testing ground for how you're gonna move forward on this site. So me saying it's something different than most people is I don't see it as a business. It's a combination of a lot of things. They pick and choose who they want to uh participate in. So you gotta understand something. CO was on a point. It's three layers. People abuse it all the time. They abuse it all the time because they know things like this matter. And the whole purpose of Sunday Madness was you could have that afternoon until people mess with you long term. Because I know people is participating in a certain channel that deals with the P word we just mentioned earlier. Y'all know what I'm talking about. And that right there is shouts out to the person doing it. You just did it to get your views up. And that's the shit that people like. But you got to continue that. Continue that. And that's the whole purpose of doing that. So it is what it is. It is what it ain't sometimes. But a lot of people they on some bullshit. Try to act like it ain't the viewpoints. But technically it is, bro. Like you gotta understand something. A lot of times people try to say, don't worry about it. I don't give a fuck. It's just what it is. Like that's the drawback of doing live streams long term. And he's right. Because being a panelist doesn't conduce anything good. I'm glad he said that because I said the same thing. That it's not that it takes much effort. It's easy. That's why people don't respect it long term. And I said this whole year, I told certain individuals, please do some content and make some content about something. And if you ain't built like that, trying to compete with somebody, that's like if a person got like 57 or less than me, you're not gonna argue with that publicly. You're just not. You're just not. You may do it in other areas of America, but everywhere else, you can't do that. But and I think people just don't understand what I used to stream around 3:30, 4, and all this stuff. That was cool. And that's just how it is. Then when you got somebody that don't understand that, people just gonna look at it and pick and choose what they gonna believe in here. But that's just people. Like I give a fuck what they think. They don't determine how my life is. Always think for your damn self. Always preach that. And that's the whole purpose when I did that series, independent thinking series. And the reason I did it, think for your damn self. Don't let no other person tell you what to do, especially on YouTube. You gotta think for yourself. And sometimes they'll come through and sometimes they'll don't. I don't cry and bitch about shit. I really don't. Now, the content, it'd be nice, but 9 out of 10, it happens. When you stuck in these spaces and you're tainted, that happens. I learned to get used to it because I get most of my engagement on a vlog stream. But doing these is I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's dime a dozens in places that you need. So, yeah, man. But yeah, that's all I'm gonna say for now. But yeah, he had a great point when he was talking about it. I was like, I said the same shit last year. You just got to pick your audience very wisely, and that just boils down to it. Man, it's a nice, beautiful day, man. I love enjoying the weather and shit, but I'm just relaxing and chilling. It is what it is. So that's just how it's gonna be, and that's just how I'm gonna look at it in so many words. So yeah, I'm not really tripping. Yep. When you get like that, it just boils down to it. Yeah, I know people are just doing. Yeah, we're doing open pedals today. Yeah, I said you get like us. No, you can't. It's by association. That's why I don't like none of these live streams. I don't like these stream yards and things like that. And the drawback of doing this, people don't fuck with the audience like that. So engagement is important. So it's kind of like you can't destroy your mods and stuff like that and hurt them or whatever. Well, you got guys like Glorified Echo Chambers do that all the damn time. That's why I'm not really a driven channel. So people that's based off money, I can't fuck with most people. And that's just what it is. And I'm not saying no hate the ones that do it, but I can't fuck with most people that's money driven. I'm sorry, that's just not who I am. I'm a principled guy. I don't try to do this as a livelihood. I don't take this shit seriously. See, what happened was when people thought like this, I'm gonna tell you a secret. I blame C19 for all this. Number one, C19 was kind of the worst things that ever happened. And when people was trapped in 2020, I blame all that shit. It all started when people didn't have an outlet. They had to use this. This ain't no outlet. I knew this was going to not last forever. I said, oh, COVID's going to last forever. Bullshit. It's going to be mild. You can't believe what the news said. And now people looking stupid right now. And people that was anti C19, they still going to die if they get it. The old one was chronic. See, y'all better be glad y'all survived 2020, 2021 too. But 2022, it's mild. Omicron or whatever you want to call it. That shit is wild, bro. And that's the thing. Some people just look at things different. I know people watching the game, college right now, and the pros is, late night. I think Kenny Smith and Charles is covering it like crazy. And that's just how it is. And that's how I'm gonna look at it. But say what you want, say how you feel. A lot of people just gonna have to pick and choose who they mess with. And that's basically what it is when you get those when people got more numbers than you. I've had numbers before. It don't really matter. So it just happens when people stop messing with you over time. The taintedness is there, and a lot of people wish people luck. I mean, yeah, you can wish me luck, but I don't believe in luck, man. I don't buy into it. I just don't care anymore. I'm at the point I just don't give a fuck about none of this shit. It's gonna get to a point I stop caring about the shit because I was like that when I started with this channel. And I'll tell you a story why I left. It was too much the same bullshit. And I had to agree with Soul and Black. If Rumble was good, I would stay there more often and then come back less. I'll tell you why. If I see some bullshit, I'm dipping. Because I already knew how sorry the site is. I know the answer. Take the shit somewhere else and build off that. I will do these regular and come up with a topic and then just move on. It's a topic based now. So you got to have a topic to have certain numbers too. And I learned this is very well that triggers people. See, you trigger them with the topics and titles. Some people clickbait and all that. I'm not a clickbaiter. Once you're a clickbaiter, it actually hurts your content too. Quiet as kept, and a lot of people try to say it helps. No, it hurts your content. It hurts your content. I've seen people try to do that and try to fit in, and that shit hurts your content. So some people gonna look at it like that helps my content. No, no, nigga, that hurts your content. That hurts you in the long run. And once you get to that level of that level, you gotta understand something. You can't worry about the next person. And I've done marathon streams before, and that to me, I'm not trying to do that, and that's not conducive what I'm doing. Some people will do 8, 9 to get views. I'm like, get the fuck out of here with that. No, the only way you get that is it was tainted. It was tainted. Fucking with certain individuals. But if you did what the numbers I see from certain individuals like Ramil and everybody else, I'm like, his entertainment shock value. See, it's the individuals. You got to blame the individuals support him. It's not always the host's fault. It's just the supporter's fault. And people on YouTube disliking the bullshit. So you gotta blame somebody liking the shit. They're responsible for what they hear. And we warned them. And I warned them. Tell them, look, that's on y'all. When they come cracking down on these fools, and shouts out to Duke of Don saying this, I was saying that last year, and then look what happened. They're done. I've been in that spot before. So the stuff they're saying ain't nothing new. I've been saying that for the longest. Niggas is just hard headed. They stupid like that. They love circles to death. They love bullshit. That's why it sells. Bullshit sells. It sells because it's like this. Is trauma bonding a religion? Absolutely. It is a religion. It will always remain as a religion. That's why it sells. Fuckery sells. Bullshit sells. It sells. And I learned when people was saying it, and I was saying what Ciova was saying it, like basically he was saying that. And I was like, okay, so the educational don't get no love on views. And you know why? It's the playback. People listen to this on the playback. They don't have to listen to me long term. It's just how that's how you look at it. But you know, like I say, you struggling to get views. And the last person to say that was Lil TP and all them. Like, I don't give a shit. Y'all like bullshit. And when this shit goes obsolete and then YouTube gets tired of that shit, it's not conducive. My shit will get numbers. It's just that simple. It'll get it if people ain't, if they're supporting or not. So when people live stream, everybody's not gonna get a lot of numbers. You gotta understand it takes time, and a lot of people try to say you can do it and all that. That's bullshit. It's what your title says and what your subject matter says. That's what matters. And the reason why I say podcasts fail, people ain't got no subject matter. I do. It's just I schedule it on certain days I feel that you're gonna get them. There's a reason why I don't do nice Sunday streams no more. I stopped doing Sunday chills because that leads on to the next day. And yeah, you get some views, but you don't get much. It's by association with people. By association, you get things like that. And that's how you gotta look at it. My brain's about to go, so I done ate good for lunch. So it is what it is. I know people are not, but yeah, the link's pinned if y'all want to come up. I'm done with the sports room. We'll still talk about various things, but if y'all want to come up, that's cool. Cause I'm gonna step away for like 3 minutes and I'll be right back. I'm gonna go on mute. Oh, I'm back. Woo. And I get a good release. Okay. So, we 2 hours in. Yeah, I might go three. I might go 3 hours because people be on some bullshit over there. Everybody trying to run interference. But shouts out to everybody that came through. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all, man. Because sometimes, it can be tough. I know everybody's streams Sundays is crazy, but it ain't going to happen next Sunday. I'm going to tell you that right now. Because Sunday's going to be very, very different. Yeah, we're going to have topics like these every now and then. Yeah, I'm going to see who's in sports right now, but Sunday's one of those days. Like, I'm glad I picked the time. So it's 70-50. Oh, Kansas City. Kansas done got it. Yeah, it's only 2 minutes in the game. God damn. So Kansas had 41 points in the second half. And who else? And Miami had 15. Yeah, it's over. It's over. This game's over. Yeah, they the number one seed is gonna knock off 10. It's a normal thing. Salute DS1. Salute. And it's just like one of the things I will say like about that game and others, that right there lets me know, college is gonna be college and they was talking about HBCUs. I think I was on the Lapeef network. I was hearing what they were saying about the money. I was like, HBCUs, like, who cares? I mean, he said that's our fault for players not going in. That's a handful of players go to that shit, but who gives a damn? And I had an argument with the guy named Carl Todad. I think me and Jen was on a panel. We argued, they ain't doing shit. When's the last time HBC is doing shit athletically? We're not talking about the intellectual stuff or the educational part. We're talking about the sports, the athletic department. No one gives a fuck about them schools. If you have a sports program, now you got some Division I programs don't have an actual football team or basketball team, and that's pretty much normal. It's the same. So again, it's a lot of division in college. Who wants to go there? I don't think people cares nowadays. College is overrated anyway. I mean, you get your stuff when you're in college or dip, but a lot of times you don't want to be broke for 4 years. I have seen a lot of broke college people here versus the ones that's successful that did 2 years in dip. That's just the truth. It depends on who you are. Not everybody can do that. Now you can do 4 years, but if you have connections in the certain circles, you can get that type of money. It depends on who you are. But outside of that, the average person is broke on each level. Now, if you dropped out and made something successful of yourself, you're one of I'll say about 30 to 60% of people are successful at it, especially here. If it can be engineering jobs, certain jobs, you're good. But if you're going 4 years like a doctor or something, or in politics or anything like that, you're good. And the military will help you out too. The only place in the military, I think Dre said this, it was Air Force. Air Force is the one that does all the educational and college stuff. But like you see now in sports, I mentioned they're gonna get the high school draft with the basketball, and I think they're gonna do the one and done in the NFL. It's gonna be very interesting drafts for both months in the year. But it is what it is. So you get what you came and whatever. And it's just like I think March is one of the months. This is like the last week of Sunday in March, I believe, and then next Sunday will be in April, I believe, because March is one of those months you see what's coming. So yeah, March is a hard one for me because I remember the time when I had my old channel and I was cut off and came back last month. I mean, not last month, but the next month over be April. But that's the thing about me, man. But the NBA is still the same, still solid. People still talking about entertainment and stuff. But yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, when Cova was talking about the three layers, I felt like the good thing he said about educational stuff. When he said about educational stuff, he said it's still popular. There's certain ones that's at the top. And he said the top educational stuff. Now he's talking about the ones probably in the college level or the pro level of this field. And he's right. Some of it is just something you don't teach in college, like what I did. See, my stuff go against the college level. It is what it is. So, let's see what the general wrote. He said, March remind me of yeah. I ain't care about that. I ain't watched WrestleMania in how long? Probably in decades. Ain't watched that in decades. But it's what is what it was, man. And that's how I get down with it. But you get here and you just like look at it in so many words. But yeah, Silva said something very, very valuable. He said the educational upper echelons is woo wee. It's just I look at it like, yeah, man, it's like that sometimes. But if you're on YouTube doing different things, you know the upper echelons is like respectable. So you're not going to get a lot of that support. That's how it is. But the ones that's on they're lying to people what they're saying in history and things like that. You deal with that. I dealt with that like decades on this channel. Even when I left, I had a lot of shit on the channel. So I was smart to leave. I just chose a different path. You know what I'm saying? But you have these things to build off of, and that's just one of the things that you stick with. But you know what it is. And that's just how I look at it. But most people, they just gonna be like, all right, man, I ain't worrying about it. It's just like it ain't nothing. You know, you just gotta have that mindful of things that it comes with. You know, and that's just how I look at it for what it is. So, and you know what it is, because when you talk about the actual things in so many words, you just equal with it out. So that's just how it is. And then you look at it and be like, hey, but yeah, he was saying that. I was like, man, he was talking about the top. So, even if I'm watching sports right now, it's a good thing. Ears is all messed up. This side is 76-50. God damn. Jayhawks is winning this. Oh, it's the final. Oh, 76-50. Wow. So the Jayhawks. The Jayhawks. So the Jayhawks, who they play? Who they play? Let's see. Let's see. Okay. So the Jayhawks defeat the Miami. Okay. Let me look at this again. On go NCAA bracket. Okay, because I know they beat them. I know Duke's already in it. So the winner of that. Oh shit, they didn't determine. So five something that's in the next hour. That will be St. Peter's and the Tar Heels. The AC versus 15 seed. So Kansas won. I don't know the winner of that game is, but who they play. The Final Four is going to be interesting. So, what I mean, I'm going to drop this little connectivity down and get it going. Yeah, I got 2 hours, but I can go three because this is nothing. This is nothing to me. It's like what? What time is it over here? 4 Eastern, 4:38 Eastern time. Yeah, we good. We good over here. It's full right here in the chat. And it's just like I'm just like, I think, but shouts out to everybody in the chat that came through. But oh man, I know live streams is crazy, and they just here doing their thing. But it is what it is. Some people just act crazy. But that's what happens when you in these certain spaces. You just everybody's divided on some bullshit. But that's part of it. That's part of the culture of it. And I think the more I listen to different people, they're gonna get tired. You get tired after a while, and sometimes you move forward, and then you try to be cordial, and after that, we good. I just say they don't forget. They'll forget all about it. I said most people don't, and sometimes I want to address it. You know, we just ain't gonna fuck with each other long term. So it is what it is. You know, and people got that personal angst. They say, "Oh, it's beef." I say, "Ain't no beef. Stop it. Niggas ain't gonna do shit. Y'all just wasting your time, bro. Ain't nobody gonna respond." And that's why I agree with what Silva was saying over at Super Slides interview. I might have to watch half of it again because I watched the beginning part of it. I gotta watch his shit again on replay. I gotta watch that because that deserves replay value because that moment I gotta hear what he said because that lets me know where he stands at in so many things. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you want to deal with that. So yeah, it's instances that you got to look at what people are saying in so many words. So people are going to just be expounding what they're talking about. But but this week, I'll talk about capitalism part 2. We're going to get into the part that I miss in the reading. So we know, yes, in the capitalism part. So we're going to deal with this reading right quick. We'll get into philosophy basics. We talk about the gist in a minute, and we're going to get into the reading. So, yeah, man. We're going to get into the part where many individuals and things like that. So, the increasing superstar effects, we're going to get into that. I'm going to set this right here. And we're going to talk about that this coming up Wednesday. And then we're going to talk about the rest of the way and things like that. But DTN, we're going to talk about the nuttiness is going on in sectors, black sectors only. We ain't talking about no. We'll talk a little bit of the niggas over there, the incelian spirit, and we also gonna talk about combination of black sectors and the common thing we see in co-ed channels. A lot of fuckery and stuff, but people love the madness, of course, and certain screenshots and things like that. But it is what it is. So, because since we got 2 hours and we're going to talk about things like that, but capitalism is one of the things I want to touch on, and then I might touch on contractarianism, the social contract again, because I won't have to do that one again, and that's going to be a subject I'm going to stay on probably a little bit, and then we'll do political world systems. We might have to do another one of that. I'll play the replay of the second part, explain what we was talking about. We talked about all the systems. I'm just gonna give you all the rundown Wednesday, and then I'll probably drop the link that time, I think next month, and that's it for that one. But the others I won't. I mean, people have to ask for it because that's usually not an open discussion. Wednesdays usually not, but Thursdays it is. But this Thursday, the new series like DTNs is not. It's basically what it is. Thursdays usually not. It's basically I'm showing you shots, what's going on, and things like that. But it'll be 30 minutes while I open up the shots, and then we're gonna talk about and explain what the shots mean and things like that. So we're gonna put this over here for a minute. Let's see what we got here. What we got here. Yeah, man. Let's see what we got with this bitch. Oh God. Hold on. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to hold on. I got some shots for y'all. I got some shots for y'all. I'm not worried about it. I got some shots for y'all. I got some shots for y'all. Yeah, cause I'm gonna set up my little shit. Ain't got time for the bullshit. Cause I'm not participating in nothing. So I know everybody's doing their own thing, and that's just what it is. That's just what it is. And that's what it is. Yeah, we're gonna explain the shots. It's perfectly harmless. It's gonna be DTNs, and I think it was like yeah, and I believe it was like a Thursday night, I believe. Cause this may be whatever. Can I do this? Yeah, because I'm gonna be like, okay. Yeah, because let's see what pulls up. I'll see who's in the chat. Shouts out to everybody. Oh wow, people coming in. Okay, cool, 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 cool. Shouts out to the ones that came. But it is what it is. People gonna come through and things like that. So I know people are tripping right now, wherever they at. So, I ain't showing y'all the goodies yet. What is this? Oh, 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 oh. Oh. Let me delete that. Let me delete that. Might have to delete that because that ain't gonna be conducive. I'm gonna stick with the screenshots. I was gonna upload something special, but I said nope. I'm gonna leave it alone. That's one of the things I'm gonna keep private. Yeah, someone's in and out. But yeah. But because I got another hour before I get to go. Because when it gets to I think 5:30, I'll cut this. Because it's 3 hours. But I don't know. I'll see who's gonna come through or not. But you know what I'm saying. But if they don't, I will cut it around 5:30 because I ain't gonna stay for like 4 hours or whatever. Not doing that. Nah, because that's not conducive. Because if people want to come through, um, yeah, man, that's why I stay away from marathon streams. I had a feel with that. I just upgraded my stuff and things like that. But yeah, man, it is what it is. It's just like a file and whatever. I was trying to upload and things like that. But gosh, I switched about five, I think three, four microphones, and it carried me through the hour. Mm. That's the thing about me, but I kind of like this one I bought. I tried USB on this one. I did good, Man, I can't wait to get that other interface. I'm gonna try that condenser. I'm gonna play with it. But this one right here, this is a test. I'm not gonna try condenser on this shit. Lord no. Hell no. This is 24-bit, I believe. Yeah, this is for travel if you have those dynamics. So the solo is nice. I like this shit. That's my workhorse right here. But I don't use this for pre-records. I'm gonna use that. And the other one I'm just gonna use in time. Y'all gonna see what I'm talking about. It's a lot of workhorses around here. I think I got about 3 microphones on the side of the bed over here, and one right here, other one in this thing right here. But yeah, man. Yeah. I'll use a different one tomorrow. Not tomorrow, but Wednesday or whatever. But it is what it is. But I could switch this 2 different microphones and I'm good. And that's crazy. Like XLR cables and shit. Man, that's some crazy shit. Man, I can't wait to get that interface. I know it costs like what, $89. Shit. Get that one right. But this one right here is all right. Yeah. So I'm testing this thing out. Yeah, that test strain, CUDA, man. Woo, they good on it. I know people is up here, but yeah, I want to see what the score is. I want to see what the score is. I'm going to, yeah, I got my shots set. Yeah, for Thursday. I should have set that yesterday, but I didn't. But this week, yeah. So it's gonna start 5:05, I believe. Is it? Yeah, it's 4:51. It's 5:05. Yeah. So what time the game will start? We're gonna St. Peter's Peacocks versus the Tar Heels. Tar Heels always got a great record. Oh man, it is what it is. But people just gonna do their thing. But that's just how it is. I know people are just gonna be on it. So 3 hours in, and it's just how it's gonna be. But once I had the screenshots, oh man, I'm ready. I'm ready for this Thursday, man. Y'all gonna be in for a treat. Yeah, I decided. I slept on it last night. I said, you know what? Let me do DTNs. Let me do DTNs. Let me do DTNs. I'm gonna do that as content. I'm just gonna move on. Not gonna beef with niggas. I'm just gonna air their asses out. They want to try me, whatever. I don't give a fuck anymore. I got to the point. I'm like, I just don't. I want to do this shit and just move on. But if I see Mal Manor, man, I'm gonna put him on the front screen. He gonna make it to the news, and we're gonna examine. I know that no one gives a fuck about this channel, and that's okay. I don't give a fuck either. I'll take the bad guy route. I'm an antagonist. But I did quote ACS, but I'm not gonna get into that. I'm living by what it is, and I just move on. It is what it is. So we can talk all this shit all day. And it's just, I don't really care. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. That shit, shouts out to Art exposing court just I got a surprise for his ass. I got a surprise for his ass. He just made it to DTN. That dumb nigga. Anytime I see fuckery, I'm gonna screenshot that shit, boy. I'm gonna put you on the news, man. We're gonna talk about this shit. Same old conversation. He's trolling me. He's trolling me. No, nigga, he ain't trolling you. You just ain't shit. You just ain't shit, nigga. You just got caught, nigga. What the fuck, nigga? Wow, but it is what it is. I know people ain't gonna talk about it on a live stream like that. And the one thing I love doing this, I'm glad I upgraded my stuff, unlike most people. And I think Information Man said this. I upgraded my sound. I have to, man. Like, if you're gonna do this, that's one thing. And next thing you know, My production is gonna be fine. Like I said, I may get a studio or whatever. I've been looking at a lot of tech stuff. I ain't been worrying about a lot of niggas. I mean, yeah, I take shots after time. If I see some fuckery, I'm gonna put it in there. Stay in one stream, then get another. Just air out dudes acting stupid. So I'll be everywhere too. I'll be watching. But the thing is, I still watch the tech stuff. Y'all gotta understand me. I gotta watch the tech stuff too. Because you gotta adapt to it, especially if you're going outside and using this shit. That's what I'm gonna do, use in the summer, and then I'll come right back and do content again. Because I'm gonna be only off this YouTube shit for like that whole, I'll say June, July. Yeah, I'm gonna be out of there. I'm gonna be outside most of the time. Hells yeah. I don't give a shit. Yeah, man. I'll take my fucking computer and shit. Hell yeah. That's the thing about me. Oh yeah. Just gotta fix this handling noise. I'll be good. But one thing I can say about it, I'm just gonna be like, all right, this is gonna be it. This is gonna be it. This is bottom line. But one thing I'm just like, hey, we here now. We're here now. It's just how you gonna produce that content, man. Because most things people don't understand that you gotta move forward, man. I've been listening to Mike Delgado about those condensers, man. I'm like, what the fuck? There's the one that I like that had polar patterns. I said, oh shit. Oh shit. Really polar patterns. I mean, this is really kind of like out there. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm like he was talking about all types of shit. I was looking at his stuff and I was like, oh yeah. A lot of people just be like, this nigga's talking about tech though. I don't give a fuck. I ain't been talking taking a minute. So I told you I talk about various things. I don't give a fuck. I just got a couple of streams to watch. Yeah, I just recently subscribed to Mike Delgado Booth Junkies, man. He gave me some ideas about certain mics, man. He's really something. He's cool to watch. Not gonna lie. And I like his CAD series too, with the CAD 100 ES and then the ESX. He loved that microphone. That's what he's known for. But this polar pattern with the CAD M1 79, I like that. That's an interest I might get. I might get one that particular microphone. I may get that. That's something I will get as a condenser. That one and this Mackie, and it's another one I like too, the Behringer. I'm gonna try them out. See if they any count with the stand and stuff. I may get another stand. So y'all better just get ready. This shit is about to be whoop, be lit. But but that Julian Krause, he knows all his interfaces, man. That dude knows what the fuck he's talking about, bro. He goes in depth, certain things and like that. But I'm still gonna try to get that pod track. Man, I gotta learn a lot how to operate that. I gotta look at YouTube videos to see that. Yeah, man, that's another one. But but that's how you do. You upgrade your stuff and you keep the content in lax, and then that's basically what you have. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I can say about these things like that. So certain people just are not gonna look at it so many times. So that's how I'm gonna look at it. And one thing I'm just like, you have those levels, But when you upgrade a lot of stuff on microphones and things like that, it's all good. I still use the same ones, and I got my workhorse with me. I got my trusty Fight Find. I love that. Love this one. I mean, that's the only USB one I like. I use it for YouTube purposes. Do that. Use that. It's good. It carried me away, and it's good on pre-records. I've tried it on pre-records as well. It's my workhorse. But I ain't found the one mic that's going to carry me as all my streams is another workhorse, and then replacing the Fight Fund. But I still use it in certain situations. I'll still use it. And a lot of people say, you sound clear all the time. I know I sound clear. But the whole purpose is that's just USB. But if you don't have a USB, you go XLR. It's nothing about a true analog, man. True analog just determines how you're going to be fundamentally sound. And that's the whole importance about audio, because sometimes you don't have to have a lot of music, but it depends on the subject matter and things like that. Some people get these mixers and interfaces that's connected to preamp mixers together. And I learned a lot. I said, man, a lot of people just buy those things to try to look cute, but 9 out of 10, how you gonna make your microphone work? Yeah, you learn all the stuff and then you get used to it. But most of the celebrities use mixers. Mixers are nice. But the only mixer I would want is a microphone that I like. It's a condenser. It's that I think it's the Mackie. I will get that. It costs like $60. I get that. They try to say that's an entry level. No, it's a good entry level, but it's a recording microphone. It's a pre-record. I only use it for pre-records. If I get a condenser, I ain't gonna say no live stream or anything. I'll use it for certain uses. It has its place. Use them in recording. I switch them out. And then I have another one with that as well. So they all have their purpose. But the one I'm gonna get is awesome. It's a good condenser and it has this little place. I might find a case for it. And it's just what it is. Some people just prefer it that way. And that's just how you get, because the game's about to start. So that's just the whole purpose of it. So, and that's just how you got to look at it. And one thing is you look at it for 1 minute and 1 moment. It's just how you look at it long term. So you know what I'm saying? But that's just how you monitor and things like that. So that's how you look at it. And then you look at so many times that how you using your recording and whatever and your analog and all that stuff. So, I learned a lot by looking at certain videos and things like that. So one thing I could say about upgrading into these and make sure I add certain upgrades, it's really helpful. And then the interface, man, that he said I was in a rabbit hole. Well, that's one thing you can say. It boils down to changes that you make in your content. So yeah, audio is a key. I've been eyeballing these for like a minute. And last year I made the big leap. It was in August, my first microphone. That was a big leap. That was a big leap. And at first I didn't want to get it. I was debating about it. I should have got some at I should have got it around the summer, but I wasn't at the time. I wasn't into it like that. But I learned my lesson. Didn't know. And this is during the pandemic days, so we was in another year in it. It's a mess, man. This is kind of like the first year people is moving around. A lot of people don't care for these no more. But if you're on YouTube and you're still recording, that doesn't stop you. See, I've been on YouTube for like decades. It don't stop me from doing things like this. So people can bitch and complain all they want to. I'm not stopping for nobody. These dudes can disappear and I'll still be here. I told you I'm consistent. It takes time, man. Like these channels that end up disappearing, you already know. So it's what you put out long term. So when they disappear, they're not trying to last longer. So that's basically what you're saying. So what Silva was saying, he said last night that yeah, they can be conducive, but a lot of times they disappear. and they ain't got no proper content. Like I said, I had a series called on my playlist I call Evergreen versus Stagnation Content. I was preaching that all last year. All last year, man, everybody's using that. I was pushing that phrase, but it all started on I think I coined it. Everybody else coined it. Several others coined it, but I made it popular in certain spheres just to push it and put it in titles on streams and shit. So it is what it is, and certain people just have their different aspects of looking at it. So when you talk about these things, they matter to certain people, and I'm not really mad at individuals not messing with me on this stuff. And then he said, "Man, they don't even like the audio stuff." I said, "Don't even worry about it. That's just them in general. Tech specs ain't for everybody. That's just what it is. I'm not gonna argue with people about tech, cameras, and shit like that. I'm not gonna do that. It's just one sided when you look at it. It's one sided. Everybody's one sided about it. And the more you argue about it, it's just a waste of energy. You cannot get mad about people being one sided about tech. And you can't discuss people about that. It's a never ending argument. And they'll cry about the same stuff all the time, talking about relationships, and it's not non-conducive. It's a waste, bro. Like that shit was cool back in the early days, but that shit's dead. Quiet as kept. Nobody wants to hear that shit in 2020 because people are divided on this shit. Because what I saw, it was cool back then. It was cool back years ago, but no one wants to hear that shit long term. It's just like what it is. Some people just gotta chill, man. Like no, most people don't really care. It was cool back then when everybody was locked down, and I'm just saying this, and I'm glad CEO broke this down. These dudes just they ain't got that proper content, and they think that's money, and they surviving. And it was bored, it was wrong again. I try to tell you, everything is technological. Even if you go outside, you still got to deal with some form of AI. And I think me and Complex talked about this for hours and hours and hours. Each stream on the Brain Trust, he was saying it. I was on panels with him talking about it, and that's the shit I used to talk about in the workplace, talk about tech and shit like that. That's the future, and people didn't listen to me then. So the stuff he's saying, I was saying that in the workplace for years and doing research on YouTube, and people saw shit moving around, and Android was the standard in 2012, competing with smartphones like Apple phones, like iPhones and shit. Niggas was still dumb and still behind on tech. So you can't teach a bunch of niggas that don't want to do shit. This is what it is, bro. If you don't learn to adapt, you're gone. It's just that simple. Like there's jobs. If you do this is small shit, right? Imagine if you get a job doing live streams, but here's the thing, conference calls and all this and jobs like this, and they know if you got experience of doing this shit, you can get a job out of it. And next thing you know, it turns into money off this shit. And he was saying so many words, there's job openings. If you're familiar with the internet, it's going to put you in the driver's seat. If you have a phone, you have a computer, analogs like microphones and voiceovers and all that, you can get jobs like that. It will help you go to the next level. The reason I'm using this as a buffer, and then if I do something else and do this on the side, this is it. But if there's job openings that require audio skills and things like that, they're gonna put you in the position that you are. So a lot of people ain't gonna be able to say anything. So there's options out there. So everything's gonna be technological. Like you see it in the self-checkout line. That's been going on for years, right? And it's gonna continue. So it's gonna be a cashless cash society, but it can be cashless too. The only way you can do that, people got to know how to use the computer first, or the tech. The technological stuff matters, but if you are not tech literate, you're done. And a lot of other people were saying that. I was saying that last year. I think Mike V came on the panel last year, talked about that too. That was on a Sunday. It was around this Sunday. I think it was Sunday Madness Or yeah, one of the early Sunday Madness, he was saying that. Yes, he did. And boy, we told the truth. This is why I was using that super cardio, that USB mic that I had. I don't have it no more. But yeah, man, same thing, same business acumen. And we talk about these things. A lot of people just don't want to deal with it. It's over here with the bullshit. So you got to look at things like that. So you can't cry about the same things over and over again and expect us to make changes. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. So, it's just like one of those things that people cry about a lot. And I think when I upgraded, no one really cared. And that's a good thing. And I'm glad they didn't give a shit. But, that's the lane I'm in. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm doing it. And the people that's against it, I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. That's on them. If you don't want to upgrade, that's you. I don't preach that. And I ain't gonna do no text stream. I'm just showing you what I'm using. And it's okay to be different in microphones. It's just what it is. I'm teaching the younger generation, like, look, you can get this to start out in the entry level shit. And I can teach you about specs and all that stuff. Like, I got books on it. But what's the point of forcing that and people that are not interested in it? I got certain things. I mean, y'all got to see what I'm doing. I do pre-records and everything else, but people are not going to care about tech stuff because it's like you're trying to tell them, but they rather use the headsets and yell and scream. Most people love that. I don't give a fuck about no headsets. That's the problem with people. People are stubborn and they don't want to do the content properly. They don't want to be famous. I ain't trying to be famous with this shit. This is just something you use for YouTube. Microphones is not a bad thing to use. If you use a microphone and you have a message and you're by yourself, it actually works. It actually helps your content, because that's what YouTube did. And when you did pre-records, microphones was kind of pretty much standard before they had the Yetis. I mean, the Yetis was a basic pre-recorder right there. That was a killer. It had so many polar patterns. Oh, it's one of my first mics I ever used on Sunday Madness. The first one I used was a Yeti, Yeti Pro. But my first very microphone I had, it's on a stand. It's the Quadcast. It's a red one, similar to the Yeti with polar patterns. And I sound crisp as hell on August 3rd. And then I use it on the open chat. That gave me a lot of views. People start fucking with me. Then I told you microphones make a difference, and it did. And then they get tired of you. And if you use similar ones, they're gonna get tired of you long term. They're so familiar with your voice, and it happens. But when I upgraded with these analogs, like the interfaces, and then I got these combo mics, oh, they really hate you now. They really hate you now. Now they trying to say you on TV, but I ain't on TV. Fuck out of here. I'm on YouTube. I decided to do an upgrade. That's just a choice. You don't have to do it. I mean, but these are entry levels that I got. I'm proud of the ones I got. I just flex. I know people didn't like not like that tech stream either. So I will never do another one again. I did a testing stream. That's cool. And I showed off and cammed up. But I'll never do that again. And that's just it. So it's gonna be, and I may do one for interfaces, what I use for Sundays, and I'll talk about it. It'll be like a Monday stream, and I don't give a shit. And we'll talk about it, and people are gonna hate regardless. I don't give a damn. And that's just what it is. Because I don't care what haters say. Because everybody hates tech. They say, you trying to be like this. I ain't trying to be him because you don't know shit. He deals with music. I deal with the podcasting. Nobody likes that. Because podcasting is the future. It's just like if you have your own podcast, you have what you have. You got to have certain microphones that's going to work for you. I use USB mics for a minute. I use the condenser one for like months until I got the Fifine. Fifine's pretty good. It carried me through every stream, long hours, you name it. It's dynamic. It's good. It blocks good off-axis rejection, all that stuff. But when I start getting the ones with the combos, like the XLR and USB, that's cool. I use the USB feature of those, But I had to find the right interface because I would love to see what the XLR sound like. And and I finally found one. The one I got was a replacement of the I think that Behringer with the silver knobs. I was gonna get that, but it was 24-bit, and they said they were sold out. I was like, what the fuck, man? And they was trying to give me this one I'm using now. At first, I regret getting this one because I got the other one. I got the wrong one. That was 16-bit. That one I'm gonna put on hold. I'm gonna do something with that one. But the other one I'm gonna get is it's gonna be one I'm gonna get next month. So yeah, once I get paid again, I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm gonna get that one and then get the condenser and I'm gonna test it out. And that's it. That's gonna be the right one. And then the next thing you know, I'll get another dynamic to go with it. And I'm straight. Get a couple of condensers. I'm good. I'm good for the rest of the year. So this year is just like you gotta upgrade your audio, man. That's the thing. I was preaching that somewhat of that. I will say probably I was on the third shift talk. Me and him was talking about tech a lot. Yeah, that's why I wanted. But see, I was a headset guy, and I told him. But once I had the microphone, that changed every damn thing. I remember when people told me on panels they had background noise if you use a headset. That's why I didn't like the headset thing. It was cool for I'll say the first 2 years of 2 years ago. And that shit pissed me off. I was on Art's panels once, Art New Styles panels, and I was on the headset. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't like that shit. I had to sit still and do all this shit. And then say, you know what, man, fuck these headsets. Because eventually I had to get a microphone. That was on my mind. I should have had a mic then and then on panels and shit, but I didn't. I had to learn, so I had to come back and do my content. So I'm glad I got the Quadcast for a while. Upgraded to a 5.5. It's still my standard. The other mics, I use them in different streams. I use different microphones all the time. So yeah. So I love my XLR combos and converters and shit. So I picked the right interfaces for them. So yeah, I'm using this solo right now. It's awesome. But I'm gonna get this Behringer if it works on that. If it works on that Behringer and I get a condenser, that's it. I found my interface. The one I'm gonna use for now. And then the M audio, I'm just gonna use that for travel. It's gonna be dynamics though. There ain't gonna be no condensers. You need dynamics, period. It's 24-bit anyway. And then you just click it in and that's it. It's straight up for that. And they have another one that's similar to that. It's a Duo. So the Duo deals with dynamics too. With M audio, you just gotta do dynamics. You just can't do condensers. I've heard a story about condenser. That thing will just pop. The thing will be, it's plastic. So anything from M audio, you just got to be careful with. I don't use condensers with that. That's the thing, you got to be careful with that. So it's one of those interfaces that's entry level, and they got that issue. So we gotta be careful with that. So that's the one I'm using until I get that Behringer or whatever. I'll see if that works, and if that works, it's a wrap. I'm gonna use my head monitoring jack. I'm gonna get another headset to monitor. So yeah, tech is kind of interesting subject, but people get mad. If you put it in the title, they give you a dislike. I already know they hate. So I have to do something. I have to use a title that's different what I'm using, because a lot of people just be pissed. So I have to be careful. It's by association. Algorithms by association. Like I said, this is why I don't really care for live streaming like that. If I do it outside and vlog stream, y'all would understand. That's how sorry YouTube is. I'm trying to tell people, and I was trying to tell Kuda about the mics thing. There was a guy named the Kettler, what's his name, Kettner or something. The guy with the buzz cut. He said 80% of people use earbuds and small headphones. So you're not really hearing the whole podcast. That's fucked up. Quiet as kept. And that just lets you know how ass backwards people are. It is what it is, but some people just gonna be who they are. You can't get mad what people do. People gonna say some dumb shit regardless. And that's just how you gotta look at people. And people are just gonna be one of those things that you have to understand that that's who they are. They got iPads, all that shit. You put it on the dongle and you can stream that way. There's plenty of ways to stream use mics. But most people ain't gonna do that shit. Some people just yell and scream through the iPad and the cell phone. And he's absolutely right. That I remember that. That's old shit. Years and years ago. That's why I don't do the cell phone thing, the iPad thing. I don't really do that on panels because people always want to bitch and complain about background noise. That was one of the issues why I didn't want to participate on panels and just scream and yell on the cell phone. They said that's cool. No, it's not cool. It's cool in the beginning until someone pisses you off with the background shit. I'm sick of that shit, and that's why I had to get a microphone. So no, and it works. But the ones that people use the most on mics is the typical Blue Yeti. I got it right here on the side, and it's just like it's a pro version, but you can put it in a mixer. This is the pro version. I still got the XLR pin to go with it. But that Yeti, man, it makes a total difference. But they actually put me on the map with this whatchamacallit, Sunday Madness. That shit put me on the map. I'm not gonna lie. That shit put me on the map. And the reason I still got it because it's got the XLR pin, but you can put it in a mixer with a different type of mixer or interface. It's a 5-pin, but you got to have the red and right, the stereo. You put that thing on stereo to record music. It has a stereo mode. So the stereo mode on the back of it, I think I showed y'all that once. That was my Sunday Madness microphone. See, Sunday Madness, I had different microphones on different streams. So Sunday Madness, I want to be different. I want to sound different on Sundays. So what I did is go on the XLR route, and I stayed with it. So I stay with it with Sundays. So I use it for a day like this on the daytime. I use my cool shit. So once I went with the XLR route, I stayed with that. And it stuck with me for a minute. But when I had this Yeti, man, for I think I got this in November of last year, early November. Then Sunday Madness, that shit put me on the map. It's a fairly new microphone. I already had different mics then. See, I had the Quadcast and everything. I was switching back to the Quadcast, but I knew I was going to get XLR eventually. And I'm glad I got this handheld. I should have had a handheld first. I didn't know how simple this was. It was reasonable. I said, and I saw reviews on it. I said, you know what? I should have got this in the beginning. I don't even regret it now. I did right. Standard wise. I did right. Because basically what I did on YouTube, I was doing something for YouTube. So there was a lot of those streams that you saw, those long live streams. Some of them were with Yeti, some were with Quadcast. It was all condenser microphones. Condenser microphones is what I was using all those long live streams. I wasn't using dynamic. And then when I had another long live stream, like 4 to 5 hours or whatever, or 9 hours, I was actually using the Fifine. The Fifine carried me for a while, man. And you notice I stay consistent with it, and I use it every Thursday. I did use it for Wednesdays and Thursdays, but I've used it on a long one on a Wednesday, and it was cool. And I hook it up to the computer. But I got my interface right now, so I'm actually good with it. So basically, people ain't saying I knew. They just don't like when I upgrade like this. And some people start trying to say, you can't carry a room. Well, I got extra equipment and shit. I ain't doing much. I am going the dynamic route, but it is what it is. Some people pick and choose who they listen to. Sometimes it happens. Some people got $400 microphones and try to get attention. 9 out of 10, it works. It may not work, but I'm not hating on that person having an expensive microphone. That's their choice. It depends on what he does. Some people just pick you, man. That's just YouTube. YouTube is known for shit like that. YouTube is known for a lot of things. They like bullshit. I told you, bullshit sells. If they like to see a person with a bullshit Yeti, I see this a lot on panels when they're co-ed. And I saw that shit and I shook my head. I said, man, what type of bullshit is this? And this is the type of stuff they like. Like, I'm not mad. I tell people all the time this, and that's why I'm doing this every Thursday, the new Thursday, daily Thursday news. it exposes what people are using. I just look at the what they have close to their lips, the mouth, the what they got on camera. I'm looking at their gear. I'm not looking at the person. I'm looking at the gear they got. And I'm just saying, wow, you talking into that? And some people just don't have a mic at all. They just want to be loud on a computer screen or iPad. That's pretty normal. They don't have what we have. It's good to have a microphone, like stuff like that, to talk to people, and then you don't have to talk real loud and scream and yell and use your own voice. Some people do that just to get attention. So a microphone is not bad. It's just another way of doing things. But if you podcast, they say you got to get that studio mic. Not necessarily. You can get it with handhelds. Some people just got to learn to use things that work. Reason why they're not successful, people got improper gear. They're not smart. They spend expensive shit, and then next thing you know, they be in debt. So people been in debt with this stuff. I haven't. It's had happened. So a lot of people just going to look at it differently. So when you got to look at me starting a small one, not a big one, you see an example. So subject matter matters. It's presentation and everything. Presentation will always going to matter. You got to have it right. A lot of people are going to get tired of that, over time. So I'm not really tripping off of everything. Like, I've always upgraded each time. But that one big mic ain't gonna save nothing. That's just for a special occasion, But if I would really want that one, it does cost like in the 500s. But I'm not gonna buy that and just like that's it. But I don't have a proper studio yet. If I did, I'll get one of those. It depends on how your budget's gonna be. I stay in the range that's gonna work for me. I got my handhelds, the one studio on the stand. I was gonna put it on another stand, didn't work. That fucked up. I was hurt by that, but I was gonna say that was gonna be my little standard. But I like the options it had on it. It had the low switch and the bass roll off. So you got to look at your mics, what they are, proper instruments. There's several mics that I want now. So once I got into the interface, I'm tired. I'm just gonna go right through it. I'm just going handheld. I'm going handheld from now on. That's how I do my shit. Studio mics is a hassle. I haven't found one that's good. That's good with certain arms. So you're gonna see some changes, man. You're gonna see a lot of shit that's gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? I'm not tripping off of anyone. And that's how you gotta look at it. So yeah, that's enough of me talking about tech. Tech is cool. I ain't got no problem with tech. Tech is one of those things that it's hard to talk about. People are so damn sensitive about talking about tech. And you gotta understand something. Tech is one of those things that you gotta have what you gotta have. So you know what I mean? But I'm not really tripping. But you're not really tripping off anything. So it's gonna be some hours in. So but shouts out the information, man. He's live right now. So I'll wait till the next hour because it looks like nobody's coming through because people is distracted today. Because this is one of those Sundays. I figure it's gonna be one of those Sundays that people's gonna be busy. But next Sunday, it'll be better, y'all. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Because that stuff is gonna be conducive in time. Some people just gonna have different ways of looking at it. And that's just how it is. And Let me see this. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it is. But when you have these things, you just look back at it and then just like, hey, that's just how it's gonna be. But we got 3 hours is about approaching. Yeah, it's approaching. Yeah, because I'm gonna shout everybody out because I ain't gonna stay too long. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I ain't gonna hold y'all up. I'm gonna shout out everybody because I'm gonna end this real soon. So I'm gonna shout out everybody right now. All right, this one. Salute to you. Appreciate you coming through. Degenerate. Appreciate you, man. Who else came through? Mace. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. We have Shar. Appreciate you as always. Bruce. Appreciate you. Information man. Appreciate you. Alonzo. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. And then, okay, Tampa, appreciate you coming through. The legendary wacky world of old. Appreciate you coming through, bro. Shalom to you, man. Yeah, man. This is one of those streams, like, they can listen on the playback. Appreciate y'all. TC Killer, appreciate you, man. T Church in the building. Yeah. Everybody done came through. Appreciate you, man. It's one of those things. I'm like, you know, we're gonna get out of here. I want to watch this little clip by a heavily flawed individual. I'm gonna say, so with that, shalom and peace, and I'm out.